Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're having a wonderful night tonight. Tonight, we are going to be doing a little bit of I Told You So on the Franklin Armory antithesis because its own existence is sort of an antithesis because it's off of their website completely. As it may be fed bait or a little bit of jumping the gun. But before we get into all of that, we have Richard of the National Rifle Association, and of course, Mod O Memes. How's it going tonight, gentlemen?
Great. Motto, how you
What,
doing, bud?
what up?
Happy to have you on, man. Glad to be here on this Friday evening where we're all so sad and lonely that we have no one else to spend it with but other online retards. Fair enough.
Hell yeah.
But before we get into that,
Before we get into that, what happened to your hair, brother?
it's beautiful. Is there a problem?
Wolverine.
I can make it. I can
You
make
got that
it
Ace
worse.
Ventura look going on.
I can make it worse. Would you?
Wow.
How bad do you want it? Believe me.
Show me your scalp, darling. I really want to see it.
Believe you me, I can make it worse. Do I own a comb? No, I do not. Unbelievable. No, but before we get into that, I did have a couple little things that I wanted to add on here. So we got a few new clips that were sent in that I think are pretty funny. This one here, which is, I believe, how you Gen Zers talk. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Skibbity toilet riz. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for that, Nate. And that's going to be very useful tonight when we go over some of the comments on our Franklin Armory video. Because, Richard, I'm not sure if you're aware, but people were very upset at us.
Oh, they were.
Doubting the validity of their Franklin Armory antithesis.
So much hate. So much hate. And we got called all sorts of different things.
Oh, yeah.
And also, the amount of people who thought that you have an FFL.
That too. That was quite funny. I've never claimed that. In fact, I have denied that every chance I get because it's simply not true. Correct, Lamb Chop. But you know what? Before we take a look at the comments on our video, why don't we take a look at the comments on the Franklin Armory video? Oh, wait. You can't because the video's gone because they had to take it down.
Whoa.
little oopsie there, you know. So maybe they jumped the gun a little bit, so to speak, metaphorically. But the video is gone. It's been privated, so there are no comments to look at it. Because they may have done just a little bit of a whoopsie. Now here we have the ATF trying to clarify exactly what they meant there, and this is what I was always worried about. Now I want to be clear. While I am kind of unfortunately correct, I don't want to be gleeful or gloating about it like some other lunatics would, because to be fair, this would be awesome if it were like green, good to go, because this would basically completely remove the NFA and be a great step forward for everybody. So this would be awesome if it were actually in reality, right? But it appears that it's much more specific than that and much less exciting than at first we thought. Now, hopefully, through some legal action and some more fighting, because there's always more fighting to do, Franklin Armory and their lawyers and other gun rights groups can pass the full measure of what they're wanting and make sure that the ATF actually certifies all of the antithesis variants, not just the 45 long Colt 410. Because as of right now, that's the only legal version of the antithesis. The rest of those in people's possessions, according to the ATF, which is, again, according to the ATF, very gay, very lame, but according to them, who are going to come kill you, your family, and your dog, all the other ones are legal SBRs, right? So don't take it up with me. I feel your cause, right? I'm very sad about that. However, I can't physically stop the ATF from doing what they're going to do to you. I also can't stop Franklin Armory from turning over your customer information either, which is why they recommend you return all of them. But coming back here to this one. So on August 29, 2025, ATF issued an open letter reclassifying Franklin Armory's Reformation, which is the straight rifled one, so not rifled, and Antithesis. The open letter implemented a settlement agreement which classifies these weapons as firearms under the Gun Control Act, but not subject to the controls of the NFA. Now, the Antithesis is designed to shoot multiple projectiles, right? Which means that it is not a rifle or a pistol, and therefore not an SBR either. They got a judge to sign off on it. They got an agreement or some sort of settlement agreement there. So it's a bit complicated and messy. However, the part that I will fault Franklin Armory for is that they left out the fact that the only one that actually got certified was the 45 Long Colt 410. So then they took that win on the 45 Long Colt 410 version and then tried to spread it around on all other variants of the Antithesis, which doesn't quite work. So again, it only, as they say, the open letter only applies to the two models listed in the letter in the specific configuration that was the subject of the settlement. Meaning if you change that configuration, even of one of the approved models, right, which is the 45 Long Colt 410 version, if you change either one of those, if you adjust the configuration, whatever that happens to mean according to the ATF, you're also in possession of an illegal SBR, right? Again, I don't make the rules. It's all fake and gay, all that sort of stuff. But I'm just telling you what the ATF is saying. ATF has further clarified that their letter applies only to the 45 Long Colt and 410 Antithesis prototype that was provided to the ATF for evaluation. So Franklin Armory provided the ATF with this gun, saying, this one here, look, it's designed to fire multiple projectiles because it can take 45 Long Colt and 410. Fair enough. So, however, that, according to the ATF, doesn't recertify every other possible caliber configuration, even though there might be like a multi-projectile 5.56 or something like that. So Franklin Armory has got some more work to do, and we can all hope and pray and support them in their fight against the ATF. The 5.56 version has been pulled from the Franklin website. It appears that they jumped the gun. Personally, I expect further legal action by Franklin, but time will tell. And yes, I believe that it will possibly come back. We can hope that it does. We can hope that they win and do get the 5.56 version certified. But even then, it's still a little bit sketchy because the ATF is only going to certify them in those exact factory configurations, whatever their interpretation of that happens to be. So, September 19th, 2025, which is today, of course, Franklin Armory, one of America's leading manufacturers, last night, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives requested that we voluntarily bring back all 5.56 caliber Antithesis firearms in advance of the agency issuing a new classification. We were surprised by this in light of the U.S. District Court's ruling in Frack v. Bondi. Out of an abundance of caution and for the well-being of our consumers, which is the correct move, dealers and distributors, we are voluntarily requesting all of our customers to return their 5.56 caliber Antithesis firearms for a full refund. We encourage customers who have taken possession of an Antithesis firearm to contact Franklin Armory Customer Service for an RMA and shipping label. This return does not affect the Reformation, which is again the straight-walled version, so it's not a rifle, and the 410 45 Long Colt variant, which is the one that actually got approved by the ATF. Now, again, I don't know if there are any lawyers in chat that wants to give an alternative take on this, and we again can hope that Franklin Armory does win in the court and get all of these certified, because that will be the biggest blow to the NFA since the last blow to the NFA. As facilitators of freedom, we are actively raising our concerns with the various entities within Congress, the Trump administration, and we are hopeful that continued negotiations with the ATF can arrive at a solution that avoids litigation if at all possible. Be assured this will not be the final chapter on Antithesis. Now, a word on Franklin Armory. They have had a bad run of it. Every time the Reformation came out, like what, 4, 5, 6 years ago, when that originally came out.
Yeah, about 6 years ago.
Yeah, a long time ago. And they just, through litigation, court cases, fighting with the ATF for every inch, just got that certified. With the Antithesis, if they can go through this entire process again, hopefully it's faster. Hopefully. But it could be another 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and if the administration changes hands, we might be looking at a less favorable ATF or less favorable judges or whatever else that it might be. Yeah. Couldn't imagine. Couldn't be me being a lawyer. Absolutely not.
No way.
Yeah.
Taurus has the funniest opportunity to do the funniest thing in the world if they were to buy. Do you know where I'm going with this? If they were to buy the rights, what is this? This thing is chambered in 45 long Colt and 410, right?
410, yeah. Yes,
So
yes.
it's the Taurus Judge AR-15. So that's what the Judge is chambered in, right?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
DaBaby made a song about Arena?
Who?
DaBaby? Isn't that a black rapper made a song
Yes.
about Arena? Is this rage bait posting? Will I get angry if I listen to this song?
I'll find it. We'll do it later. That way.
Well, I can't listen to it. We'll get copyright struck for it for sure. Sure.
We'll watch it later.
So,
after.
okay. But yeah, I have not. I don't keep up with the inner city community's music. I just, it's not my style. Not my style.
Scholarly.
But, the scholarly work that goes on in these cities. Oh shit! Here we go. All right, so this is our video on it. Now you guys were not happy. I think we have something like a 80% like ratio on the video, which for YouTube is really bad, like really, really bad. Reno May posting, these guys have a lot of lawyers involved at many levels of the company, which I totally believe that they do, yes. However, they still jumped the gun because the only recreation of this video that exists online is our stream of the video. That's the only way to find this original video is through our clips and streams because they had to take it down. I just made a label that says antithesis and put it on my stock. Now we're all good. Paul Bailey calling us out. You were all missing the point from the video. This was resolved not just by court order, but also followed up with a settlement agreement. I agree with that. However, Franklin Armory left out that the settlement was specifically for the 45 long Colt 410 variant, not the 5.56 versions. So, yeah, I hope it works, but they didn't just sign off. They fought them in court for over 8 years and won. The ATF and government lost. Kind of. Again, not quite that simple. The Reformation is good to go, so that is true. Franklin did win that, but they didn't win with the 5.56 antithesis. Here we go. This is the one. I'm disappointed in you as an FFL. I'm not an FFL. You should know a little bit about law. I took a business law class for my economics degree. Does that count? It's a nationwide court case ruling, so the ATF can't just swing the other way 7 years later. They need SCOTUS to overturn the ruling. Again, this video doesn't exist on the platform anymore because Franklin had to take it down. Dangerous Gas says they did not convince an ATF field office to sign off, quote unquote. The ATF was forced to rescind their previous letter ruling about this new class within the category of GCA only firearms because of the ruling of this judge. Again, for the 45 long Colt 410, which in this video, Franklin Armory is not showing off that variant. They're showing off the variant that people actually want to buy, right? That being the 5.56 version. Reno May calling you out, which I thought was funny.
Yeah, he was not happy about that.
I got a lot of hate on my meme about it too. It's like it seemed like people were confused. Like, hey guys, if this works, we're all happy about this. Like, I don't think they realize we're all on the same side here in agreement. But like, this is an obvious problem, and I think a lot of people couldn't see through that.
I 100% agree because people are kind of addicted to some of the hopium, let's call it, where they see a win and they don't like anyone questioning or saying anything to the contrary, right? But the honest truth is that it's just a little wacky. Now, they also, for some reason, I forget how this happened, but in the split up of Bushmaster, Franklin Armory came away with the rights to the ACR, right? And
Of all people.
and they just haven't done anything with it. So it's like, all right. Wow, Jake is going after you in chat. Says nobody likes your memes. Listen,
okay.
I have my own little heart emoji next to it.
Wait, Jake
other
Zorb?
people do. Jake Zorb, yeah.
I love Zorb.
Yeah, I don't know. Jake's a hater. Jake's a straight up hater.
Nah, he's baiting.
He probably is.
He playing games. There's his comments right there.
Yeah. No, I see.
Am I being loud? I'm sorry.
No. You're good. You're good. I turned you down a little bit. I think you were a little hot in the beginning, but I turned you down a little bit, so we're good. No, it's not your fault. It's StreamYards. I only blame StreamYards. So
whisper from now on.
That's not true. You blame me sometimes.
Well, but that's because it's your fault, Richard.
Deservedly so.
Let's be real here. The Lightspore for 5 says, if I hear anyone use Philippinks, I will be Moonman's next CIA PSYOP. Well, listen here, you Philippinks. You better understand that is our word, not yours, okay? You can use... I was gonna say the actual slur, but no, not that one. Philippinks is ours, okay?
Moonman, get on that DDM4 stat.
Actually, I could use a DDM4 donation as well. So Bardic Psycho for 5 just leaves a happy emoji, which I'm glad to hear. That he's not psychotic and going to kill us later, like some of my deranged fans might. Huge Ass became a YouTube channel member. I didn't know you weren't a YouTube channel member, Huge Ass, but I appreciate it. I thought you were too, man. Maybe he just lapsed. Coral Weezer, member for 2 months. Gay? Late? What else is new? Not much. You'll get used to it. You've only been here for 2 months, but you'll get used to it. Melissa Meter for 10 says, will Kyle and Toon finally fight in chat? Will Focus be late and gay? When will the music playlist be finished? Will Richard sound like a robot? Tonight on Focus Trip. Almost certainly all of those things will happen at some point. Yes. Sabardic Psycho for 2 says, just saw Troon in real life. I'm like, sick emoji. You know, so I live in very, very rural South Dakota. We don't get a lot of these types in this area, okay? But I was back in Washington for a little while. I take my wife out, to one of the cities and to have a nice dinner. And it's just like a hive of dysgenic, just disgusting stuff. It's like, oh yeah, this is why I don't live in this area or near cities or near people.
Based.
Yeah. Mitchell Black for 5 says, have you seen Zeb Boykin, Charlie Kirk assassination breakdown? It looks like the shot came from on behind. I saw that Valhalla was streaming to like 10,000 people.
Damn.
Going over, yeah, I know, huge stream. Going over the updated Charlie Kirk assassination theory. Let me look that up though. Zeb Boykin, because I've heard this theory about him getting shot from behind.
I think
I know Candace is going ape shit on that.
Well, Candace is going that as well. Yeah, because Candace had a stream on that today about the whole camera behind Charlie that got taken down, which I looked at right before we got there.
Oh God.
Yeah. But yeah, we can take a look at that if you guys really want to. Thank you, Mitchell. Melissa Meter for 2 says, please make it worse. I'm almost there. I'm sorry. I'll have to take off my headphones. I can't hear you guys, but
Wolverine.
We'll see how bad I can make it. Can I make the back stick up as well? Okay. All right.
Oh, Ace Ventura. It went from Wolverine to Ace Ventura.
That's about as bad as I can make it. Oh, and then the thing kicked on. That's about as bad as I can make it. I don't know what hand gesture it is to turn it on and off. But I'll do, there it is, it turned on. So I don't know what random move I have to make. Is it opening? Oh, it is opening. Yep. How about that? We're gonna move?
I think you gotta show it the palm of your hands.
Okay, I don't know. Anyways, thank you, Melissa Meter, for the detour. Appreciate that, man. Huge Ass for 5 says, excuse me, my good sir. Some of us chose to neglect their families to hang out with online speds. True. I lock my wife in the basement to make sure that she's safe. It's a safety measure. Thank you,
what was the Ace Ventura thing? The White Devil Iquinsuorja? When he was when nature calls, when he's out there and he gets tackled and they paste him up with they turn him into the White Devil.
Oh man, I haven't seen that movie in like 20 years.
Skibbity Toilet Riz. Okay.
Not gonna lie, I've never seen the movie.
Oh, I'll have to find it.
Merlin 70445 says, "Don't forget to mention PSA dropped another AR that's never been done."
Hell
before.
yeah, brother.
Okay, so I saw that they did another DOE, but in 300 blackout, and then they were like, "Listen, we have a new M16A4," and I'm just like, okay, fair enough. But I get it, you know, as a company, sales are down, so whatever you can do to try and drum up hype for something to make some additional money, like I actually, you know, I don't really fault you for it. I think that's fine, trying to make money, you know. Modern Frontier Project for 5 says Franklin Armory could have made Bushmaster release the ACR, but they chose to waste $1 million in lawyer fees. Listen,
Oh, yeah.
I'm of two minds of this, because as somebody who's owned 4 ACRs, I want one, but I realize that they're bad guns, right? They're not actually great firearms. I love them, but they're not great guns, okay? So, like, what if we talk about, like, net good? I think that actually, if they do get the antithesis through, that is actually a much bigger net good for the community than just another crappy piston AR. You know, that's now a retro rifle. Okay, the ACR is now a retro rifle, unfortunately. But I think it is a bigger good for the community if they actually can get this through.
I was actually going to shout out Modern Frontier Armory there. They're a fantastic YouTube channel.
Oh, fantastic. Excellent.
Off topic.
I didn't know it was possible for you to call me old and poor in a single sentence, but calling the ACR a retro rifle.
It's a retro rifle. Yes, it is. It came out in 2008, 2 decades ago, bro.
It can be improved though. Like what's that company that makes a clone of it?
Dana with Templar Precision.
Yeah, those are,
he makes
from
the scythe.
what I'm told, quite nice.
But, well, yeah, but they're also $4,000 if you want a full scythe ACR. So they better be, right? At that point, you can get a B&T APC 223, whatever they call that thing. Merlin 704 for $2 says Christ is King. Indeed. Revelation 2:9. And Revelation 2:9 is, I know your affliction and your poverty, because we are all poor here. Yet you are rich. I know about the slander of those who say they are Jews and are not, but are a synagogue of Satan. I wonder what that could be a reference to. Thank you, Merlin.
Well, the first part about being poor and rich, that kind of fit me, but
oh yeah, no. Well, but we're poor and rich, but are not. You know, it's because we're rich in spirit. 7 Industries for 5 says, is there technically tiny little loopholes and workarounds in gun laws? Yes. Do I have millions to uphold and prove those loopholes in court? No. Well, fortunately, some people do, right? That's how we have some of these like braces, right? Which is a loophole, but it's great. It's fantastic. And everybody should abuse it. FRTs, right? We should abuse these loopholes, right? Okay, if gazillionaires at Amazon are abusing the tax code, we can have a little fun, okay? We can do it. I think that's fair.
Abuse those holes.
I didn't say it that way. That was much different framing. Heathen from Texas for 2 says Franklin ACR antithesis in 45 long Colt. Coming soon. Imagine that, an ACR in 2025 in 45 long Colt.
Hell yeah.
I would not buy that out of principle. Everyday American for 10 says, did you see the Anti-Hero podcast broke up?
I was going to talk about this.
Yeah, I was listening to Nate's podcast before this, and I heard that on his podcast that they broke up, which is kind of tragic because they have not been around for very long, but they've been doing really good work. Mm-hmm. So it kind of sucks that they fell apart like that. Now, I'm sure that Anti-Hero will still be doing stuff, right? At least one of them will be.
Brent, the Delta guy left. But I don't know. I don't really know what they're going to do anymore.
Huh. He seemed like a really stable individual. So I wonder why. Because, I mean, unless there was like backstage drama, because the dynamic seemed good from the outside.
So Brent, the guy that left, is a former member of Delta Force, and Delta is getting a lot of heat right now and a lot of accusations. Obviously, that's not my purview. I'm not going to speak on it, but they're in the news, and there's a lot of documentaries about some stuff supposedly that goes on within Delta Force that is really not good. But you know,
are we talking like gay not good or like?
I'm talking like
John the
allegedly
key, not good.
drug dealing with cartels and stuff like that.
Oh,
So,
okay. Yeah.
like murders and shit. So,
Well, for some reason, Jake really wanted me to show this image on screen, which is just funny. Sam Hyde in blackface behind Cash Patel. Cash Patel, no matter what he's doing, looks terrified. He looks like
keep getting away with this.
He looks like he sees a ghost at all times. Everyday American says, did you see that the Anti-Hero podcast broke up? Unfortunately. I think it's about that Benghazi guy on SRS saying that Delta guys threw a deceased guy off a roof and then the other Delta guy denied it, but was outnumbered. Yeah, I mean, secretive special ops communities doing terrible things. Color me shocked that people with unlimited power and psychotic tendencies do wacky things.
yeah.
I mean, you turned people into killing machines with a blank check and expected them to be normal.
Yeah. Sad.
Jay Lewis became a YouTube member. Oh, well, hey, thank you, Jay Lewis. Appreciate it, man. Melissa Meter says, oh, yeah, that did it. There you go. I'm glad I could make it worse for you, Melissa Meter. Chud McGill says, Candace Owens, we don't listen to blacks around here. Unbelievable.
It feels a little fake and gay. Gotta tell you guys, it feels a little fake and gay, and there will be no fakeness and no gayness.
Real. Thank you, Chud. Our Vanilla for two says, the only black woman I listen to is Vintage Warfare. Of course.
You ever been feasted?
Have you ever been feasted by an African king? It'll be me.
God damn it.
There's so many of them over
course.
there, I couldn't find it.
I know, I got him. Modern Frontier Project for two says, Mod O sold me Fent behind an Arby's dumpster.
I did. I told him not to
Megabase.
talk about that.
What'd you do with the Arby's sandwich, sir?
Oh, my wife sent me another one that I really need to find now because it's clean for the stream, so I can actually play it. Because that's what my wife does. My wife sends me memes when she's not doing anything, and she has a lot of time in that basement. So let me see if I can find it. It was probably so far back because she sent me like 1,000. So I have to go through, yeah, cute memes about this, relatable memes. Okay, where's the one about Arby's? Actually, if she's listening right now, could you send it again if you go back in the memes that you sent me, babe? Because that would be quite funny. Moski 1088 for 5 says, so the anti-fiscus shoots 410 45 long colt and a proprietary 5.56 round, and the ATF said no on the 5.56 ones. Correct. Well, the model that they gave, right, for certification was the 410 45 long colt variant. And then they were like, okay, well, they approved that variant, so now we're going to run with, our 5.56 as well. And the ATF was like, well, nuh-uh. Thank you, Moski. G17 Enjoyer says, did you see Slade's new camo pattern? Not another camo pattern. Slade Rider? Did he post it on Instagram? So I could probably find that real fast. Thank you, G17 Enjoyer. Rad's Arms for 2. Hope you're having a good night, man. Says, ZM Weapons LR300 is the coolest late 2000s rifle. That is so cool that I don't even know what that is. So now I have to look that up. Another thing I have to look up real fast. ZM Weapons LR300. Oh. Why does that look like a SIG? What a wacky looking gun. That kind of looks like the T91, the Taiwanese T91. You can get the Wolf T91 uppers as well, or whatever they call them. That's kind of what that looks like. Kind of neat. It does have that late 2000s vibe, for sure. Thank you, Rad's Arms. Tom Dogs for 2 says, all you need to know is Robbie Parker was at shooting. Are we talking, we're back on the Charlie Kirk assassination? I don't know. I don't get the reference. Melissa Meter for 2 says, Motto sold me Fench too, then proceeded to Narcan me. Honestly, that's a wombo combo right there. Sell somebody Fent and then just shove Narcan up their nose.
What is Narcan? Is that like an injectable or is it like a nasal thing?
It's a nasal spray. So it's an anti-OD medication that basically instantly gives you withdrawal symptoms. So it makes you like violently ill and sick feeling if you're addicted to opioids. But for the average person, it doesn't do anything. So for these Fent guys, we covered it last stream. There were these guys in San Francisco, Narcan vigilantes running around Narcanning people against their will, right? So you have Fent zombies in the streets, you know, curled over, laying down, whatever it might be, and these guys would just run up and hit it with Narcan to make them violently ill, which is quite funny. And then the media was... It is kind of based for vigilantism because it's non-harmful. Like it's not possible. Like, from what I've read, it's almost impossible to seriously injure someone from Narcanning them. It's just
strongest
kind
weapon in the war on drugs.
It's just kind of funny
going out and Narcanning randos on the streets. I love it.
Mitchell Black for 5 says Reno May, more like Reno. May I place my ball sack on your eyes like swimming goggles? Okay, all right, Mitchell. Thank you for that. I don't know why you guys are so entertained by this. You guys haven't stopped, and we haven't even got to the second topic yet. Cody Greger for 269. Very nice. Motto, laced my Fent with laxatives. All right.
I don't know. I'm never in the chats for any of these, so I don't know who the fuck any of these people are.
Well, they
and
know
I don't
you,
have the chat pulled up.
they know you, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Gage Matt says Brent left because Tyler caught a domestic violence case. Nothing to do with you.
No.
Tier 1 is Brent's. No, wait, no. Tyler's the cop, isn't he? Tyler's the cop, isn't? No, not okay. No. Listen, guys.
Wait.
There are some stereotypes that go around, okay? And it's sad and it's tragic, but there are reasons for these stereotypes. And what is it like 40% of police officers have a
Can
DV
we pull that
case?
up? Is that like...
Jamie, can you pull up those stats?
Jamie, pull that shit up.
That's actually tragic, especially, and that's so hypocritical too, considering they were just covering John McPhee's DV cases and SA cases and stuff like that when one of your podcast hosts had
the change and the stigma. Like, oh man.
Damn. Well, although to be fair to Tyler, okay, if it's fake and gay, because you know sometimes women accuse men of doing something that they never did. Yeah. You know, I'm really sorry you're going through that. If it's real, well, you're kind of a scumbag and you deserve what happens. Sorry. Heathen from Texas for 2 says, is Delta IRL Modern Warfare 2 Shadow Company? Yes.
Pretty much.
Yeah. They go where they're told and they do whatever they're told to do and in whatever manner they're told to do it.
With
if you don't, yeah, with an unlimited budget, and nobody gets to question where they go or what they do. And I'm sure the people in charge of them have definitely used them for sketchy things in the past.
It's nearly double the domestic violence rate for law enforcement versus average people.
Fair enough. Dick Cheney's Heart for 2 says, Kimber FB post, meet our 1911 production line Haiti tier. What? Can you send me that, Dick Cheney? That's quite funny. 80 tier for our 1911s. I mean, Kimber's been doing a lot of work fixing their image. Chud for 2 says, Motto sold George Droid Fent. Also, Richard Gassy. Well, okay, Motto felt bad for George Droid because his Fent reactor was running low, and without his Fent, like, how is he supposed to, like, point guns at pregnant women? Okay, it's part of his job. Thank you, Chud. Manwasi for 2 says, I farted on Motto's pillow.
Damn it!
That's where that pink eye came from.
Andy Ray for 2 says, happy B-Day to my buddy Mike Hunt. Love you. No, I know what it is. I'm gonna say it anyways. What, you think I'm not gonna say it? You think I'm not gonna say Mike Hunt? Listen, that guy's name is Mike Hunt. It's not his fault he was born that way. Thank you, Andy Ray. Mitchell Black for 5 says, John, the Charlie Kirk assassination breakdown video is on Zed's channel, Outside the Overton. It's the one titled Ballistics Don't Lie. Yeah, no, I have it pulled up. I have it pulled up right now. Let me see. It's from 2 days ago. So I think we are going to take a look at that. We might as well, because you guys are talking about it. Thank you, Mitchell Black. Ridiculous for 5 says, if someone bought a bunch of P80 Glock kits with the jigs included in Minecraft and never built them, what do? Can they be legally sold? Build them? Well, that is begging the question, good sir. And if such an individual like that existed and he wanted to sell them, I, as a public figure, could not recommend this hypothetical person do anything with them, right? I would not do that. Now, in Minecraft, or in certain states that have private sale transfers, you could probably do whatever you wanted.
What
Is
if
that
you were to
range?
trade those?
You could probably sell them to an FFL or trade them at an FFL. I don't know. Chud for 2 says, no way, F2000 is the best at and coolest 2000s. Bullpups suck, and I know that they suck, but I still, every time I see one, I'm like, that looks cool. Like, I want to get that. The forward ejection, the straight pull 1911 style trigger, even though it's like 10 or 12 pounds or whatever it is on the F2000. The horrible included optics if you don't get the tactical version or the one.
What do those go for these days?
Like 25 to 3K.
I was gonna say $3,000.
Yeah.
I
mean, which is what an
I don't think I've
ACR
ever
goes for
seen
as well. Dude, there was a time allegedly where they were like $1,500 on store shelves because FN. So the way that I've heard it is that for people to be on FN's distributor list, they had to buy a certain amount of F2000s. So they were just sitting there not selling because people had to buy them. So they stayed on shelves for like a decade. And now that they're rarer, now the price has gone way up, right? So people tried to sell them for like $1,500.
The best 2000 is a sub 2000.
Oh gosh, get out of here! I'm sorry, he's too poor for this panel. Rad's Arms for 2 says it does get you high if you use it rectally. Things I didn't need to know for $2. Thank you, Rad's Arms. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, that sounds like a.
The Light Spore for 5 says every victim, quote unquote, I've ever hit with Narcan came out fighting. Towards the end of my career, I debate if I just let it happen.
I have so many cop friends who say that exact same thing. They're
All
like,
of
it's
the
not
video-
even worth it.
If you watch the videos, it's like it gives them a hit of adrenaline. I've seen people who are gray. They get hit, and about 3 to 5 seconds later, they come back from the dead swinging.
Well, right, because it stops because fent like makes you like stupor, like you're a zombie. You're bent over, keeled over, out of it, and it takes you from 0 to 100, right?
Yeah, it suppresses your respiratory functions and your nervous system, and then you go from almost complete suppression to fully engaged immediately.
Right.
You sure know a lot about Narcan, Richard.
Indeed, I do.
He was a Florida man.
Mitchell
Black for 2 says, Motto, Nija, who is you? There's Motto memes over on Instagram.
That was me.
Excuse me.
Big fan of Mitchell Black, by the way. It's hilarious watching these streams at work and listening to them and all the comments all the super chats that pop up, and now I'm the subject of the super chats.
It happens. Okay, so this is the type of man Motto is.
This is a Glocks only neighborhood. Move along, Siggers. This is a Glocks only neighborhood.
Richard, cue the Ben Stoker clip.
Oh.
What's up, my Siggers?
There we go. Huge ass for 5 says a cop catching a domestic violence. Q Count Dankula. Oh no. Indeed. Modern Frontier Project for 2 says, sir, another Fent allegation is hit Motto. Indeed, this is the Motto show where everybody, he comes up here and people throw tomatoes at him with Fent accusations.
Yeah.
Mike O for 5 says, you were supposed to destroy the Vet Bros, not join them. True. Thank you, Mike O. That's a great PFP, by the way. Everyday American for 2 says, what's your favorite product from a company you hate? Sig Romeo AT, baby. Best red dot ever made.
Well, the lighter one I hear is a lot better. But
what do you the new one, the AT AMR? Because that one there has a blue tint, while my beautiful 8T does not. So I have a preference for less blue tint. Not that it's better or worse, but I have a preference for less blue tint. So, you know.
My 14.5 I post all the time as an AT on it. And it's the only SIG product I'll be like, yeah, I'll defend that till the day I die. I think it's fantastic, despite the weight.
13 ounces, baby. Josh for 5 says, got kicked out last night. Mom was being a B word. Had to call 911. Josh is hardcore memeing right now. He is. You don't understand the lore here, and I got to be very careful about what I say about this individual. Okay, I'll tell you after stream, but I have a fan. And Josh is mocking me. Mom was being a B word. Had to call 911 on my dad. Don't throw stones if you're in a glass house, man. I'm always watching. Yes, you are, Josh. I appreciate you, Josh. It's a long story. Todd Dogs for 2 says, FY, Erica Kirk was friends with Epstein and Maxwell.
Whoa.
Okay. So a decade ago, wasn't she a Miss America pageant contestant? Not a winner, but a contestant in that stuff. So did they kind of run in the same circles like a decade ago? Am I right about that?
That was still post charges for Epstein. So
yeah, I mean, I don't have confirmation on that, but I know she was a beauty pageant person at one point. Central Saiyans defense. What?
I was gonna say, let me call up my black queen, Candace. She'll probably know.
Ouch, that hurt. Central Saiyans defense. Ben says, "Hey, those police stats are wildly exaggerated. Now, excuse me while I go fix the wife's attitude." And yeah, Ben also sent me some of these patches here, these Arby's patches, which is fantastic. Need to actually put them on something. Actually, I noticed today that my 5-year-old son had stolen a bunch of my patches, and he had put them on one of his hats, and so he was just walking around with an Arby's patch on his hat.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he steals most of my stuff. Melissa Meaner for 5 says, ridiculousness, just build them and leave them on MLK Boulevard. True. Fent and Switchies go hand in hand. Chud for 2 says, the F2000 would sell so well right now. Richard, sub 2K is gay. Well, I don't know. I don't know if anything is selling well right now. Like, it's hard enough to sell a $1,500 AR, let alone a $3,000 bullpup from the year 2000. I don't think any of that stuff is going to sell well right now. Our favorite Fed has arrived. Moonman for 2 says, Richard Tito. Fair enough.
Thank you, Moonman. You saved me.
7 Industries for 2 says, Motto sold me crocodile.
I actually know what that is. Finally, okay, something I understand.
What the heck is crocodile?
Crocodile is an amphetamine mixed with basically codeine. It's if you can imagine a cross between opiates and meth. It's made in European countries like Ukraine, Russia. They inject it and it eats the skin. It was I saw it on a documentary a couple years ago. It's disgusting.
My co-host knowledge of obscure drugs is giving me second thoughts. Thank you, 7 Industries. My Concho says, Motto Narcaned me 69 times, rectally as well. Thank you, my Concho. I'm sure that was an interesting experience. Moonman for 2 says, don't wait. Tell us now, you coward. Oh, Moonman, you weren't there. That's posted in the Discord. You should go check it out. Thank you, Moonman. Everyday American for 5 says, remember, kids, if you're approached by someone 3 levels or hotter than you, she's a Fed/Mossad. Kash Patel, and now seemingly Charlie Kirk. No, Charlie Kirk was a fine-looking man. He just had a weird smile sometimes. Kash Patel, though, does have a Mossad operative as a wife.
Girl.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Perks of the job, okay? Moonman for 5 says, Minecrafting everyone in a tax bracket above me. True. Just to make sure we get everyone who has ever known Mossad's strongest babysitter. Okay. Thank you, Moonman. G17 Enjoyer for 2 says, do you think it's worth buying a OCM5?
Yes.
That's the reflex one, right?
Yes. Or wait, Andrew's dropping the OCM 6 soon, which is a I don't want to say flow through because that's like legally the term you're not supposed to use. But it's like a flow through version of the AEM5, and I believe it might be quieter. I'm gonna have to ask Andrew of Otter Creek
Well,
Labs.
reduced back pressure is good though. I mean,
Yes,
just
especially on
for,
a gassy boy like that.
Yeah, because listen, as much as everybody's worried about sound signature and suppression and flash, like not getting cancer is also cool, right?
Yeah.
Also cool. Thank you, G17. Mitchell Black for 2 says Richard, former DEA confirmed. I think he was a former subject of a DEA investigation, more likely. Thank you for that, Mitchell Black. Meliz Demeanor for 5 says Motto put his finger in my chili ring, Narcaned me, and saw how long he could hold on.
Chili
wow. Take a guess at what that is. Take one guess. Wow. Thank you, Melissa Demeanor. 7 Industries for 2 says, is Cash and Vivek gone since H1Bs are? Yes, Vivek? I did see that today. Vivek.
Ramaswamy?
I am an American just as much as you, sir.
Vivek Ramaswamy.
Anyway, so $100,000 companies have to pay yearly per H1B visa, which should get rid of basically all of them, because it prices them out of the market, which it should be. In no way, shape, or form should you be able to undercut American labor to bring in Indians or really any people group out there to screw over native-born Americans. What is the problem? What kind of a country does that? I mean, so yeah, make it $1 million. $1 million a year if you want to hire a foreign-born H-1B visa guy. Just doesn't need to happen. I am glad. That is actually a huge win if that actually maintains. Moonman for 5 says, mine is at my FFL right now. I'm going to have so much more drip than every other Fed at the next Discord grooming session. Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, man, I would rock an F2000, but I don't think they're a good gun.
Moonman is my favorite. I love Moonman. Moonman is the guy that he'll post the craziest stories and you have to read them out. That's Moonman, right?
Moonman, well, he posts a Moco, and the Moco is as Ivan says, it is $100 a year, or sorry, $100,000 a year, up from $1,000 a year. So Moonman posts everything. So he also has a Moco if a Moco's here, and then he makes me read all of a Moco's wacky dreams. So big
certified king.
Hey guys, we're 50 minutes in and we haven't been able to get through the super chats yet. Could you guys actually stop for a minute so we can take a look at this? Like I haven't even talked about anything yet, and you guys just want to throw money. Okay. Judd McGill for 2 says y'all use Apollo 30. I love the Polo K, also gassy. So the Polo K, very gassy, very cost effective and sound effective, but you just have to understand that you need some sort of gas mitigation system, whether it's a piston, adjustable gas block, adjustable BCG, heavy buffers, something like that to try and knock that gas down. Because like I have some guns that even with an adjustable gas block and heavy buffers, I'm still like, this is just not pleasant to shoot. Yeah. So that's why my next cans are all going to be, quote unquote, reduced back pressure.
Yeah.
Ungrateful Colonial for 5 says FN doesn't want to sell any rifles, hence their pricing structure. Well, I think that they also just don't care about you as the individual. They will
military
gladly
contracts.
And they'll gladly sell 1 million barrels to somebody like PSA, in these huge contracts, but they do not care about individual private sales. Like if you look at their portfolio, I would wager that their civilian sales in entirety are less than 10% of their total gross. Less than 10%. So they just don't care about you. Thank you. Thank you that. Peanut Arbuckle for 2 says deport the Slurpee Jockles. That is Miku with a cat bubble gun. I think is what that is. Thank you, Peanut Arbuckle. Hugh Jasper 5 says the industry may be down, but my Smith and Messon creations are a hit in my local trailer parks. True. Yeah, Crocodile goes hard in the local trailer park, let me tell you.
Gonna teach you a Smith and lesson, cuh.
Everyday American for 5 says tone in suppressor matters more than sound. I have heard this elusive tone argument. I still don't know what it is, because I'm gonna be real with you guys. Like, I understand that my hearing every time I go out and shoot gets worse and worse. Okay, it just does. It's going to add up over time in years. And as somebody who shoots like 1,000 rounds a week at times, I double up on hearing protection now. I go inners and outers, like always. So for me, like worrying about this mythical tone thing is irrelevant. Okay. I don't gunfight for a living, so I don't actually care about that. And I don't ever shoot without hearing protection. Right. So if there's some mythical scenario in which you can't wear hearing protection, but are also going to be shooting 1,000 rounds, maybe this mythical tone thing actually matters. But since I, never do either of those things, like it's not really relevant. Tone and suppressor matters more than sound. It doesn't have to be the quietest thing out there, but as long as it's not sparky and not dumb heavy, it's good. I do agree with that. I care more about flash reduction and gas reduction than I do about the actual sound itself. Because again, I'm always wearing headphones.
I don't understand titanium cans. They seem great on paper because of
hunting
the weight
and
reduction.
precision. Hunting and precision, right? I think that's what they're good at. And I mean,
they throw massive sparks, regardless if you're only shooting 1 or 2 rounds.
Moonman for 2. Black fingernail emojis. All right, fair enough. Jay Lewis for 5 says, "This is our stream, boy." Thank you, Jay Lewis. Appreciate it. Melissa Meter for 5 says, "The super chats will continue until Motto admits to his crimes." Motto, could you confess your the Fent drug pin of Indiana?
I don't know anything about drugs. Anything. In case that hasn't come across yet, apparently I'm more wholesome than even I thought I was. But I don't understand any of these jokes or references. I had to ask what Darkan even did. So
plot twist. I just wrote motto on my name tag, and I'm the one who sold Fent to everyone. They don't know what either of us look like.
Fucking Richard. Talk to him. Were you really a Florida resident? Is that how you know all these things?
Yeah, and also other things. I'll explain later.
Cool.
Other things. Well, it's never going to end, Melissa Meter. Thank you for that. Moonman for 5 says, "I was referring to an OCM5. My coworker does have an F2K, though, so I'm less than 6 degrees of autismeration from one. And just say no to gassy." True. Okay, an OCM5. Mega-based. What are you putting it on? So funny story real fast. I built a custom upper for somebody using a Roscoe K9 12.5 with a short hand guard, because he wanted to put a OCM5 overbore on a 12.5 and have like a mini Mark 12 looking thing.
I love that idea.
Build. And so the suppressor, because it's a 12.5, not a mid, but a 12.5 intermediate length or patrol length, I think is what they call it. Because it's a 12.5 patrol, the back of the expansion chamber of the suppressor like butts up with the
gas block.
With the gas block, basically. So it kind of looks the part.
Butts up.
But 12.5.
Man, I don't have sweet looking.
Agardis. I need to get a picture of that, actually, because I mean he's had it for a while now. Agardis for 5 says, "Focus trip. Oh no, guys, stop!" While getting money thrown at him. Well, I mean, I'm an hour in. I would like to leave, right, at some point, and I haven't even. If we're gonna look at a 20-minute CKA video, it's gonna take a long time to get through that, and that's not even getting to Tacticon yet. Vandalay for 2 says, "Agardis. He is a focus stripper." Oh, okay. Thank you, Art Vandalay. Thank you. Modern Frontier Project for 5 says, "We are the /kings of made-up scenarios, and if you think otherwise, we cast force field." Fair. Yes, well, that is true. Most of the gun community's purchasing is bought off of fictional scenarios that are only inside of like people's minds and don't actually apply in reality, but that is totally fine. You can buy in autism to your heart's content around here. Thank you, Modern Frontier Project. Moonman for 5 says, "I know what both of them look like just by how they talk." Those profile pictures don't hide anything. Over on Ko-Fi, G-Notion says, "Pew Science is a waste of time and the NFA Reddit nerds are gay." Well, actually, this can has a score of 36.7 and yours only has a score of 36.4. So therefore, by the facts and science, my can is heckin' better, okay? Acrid, Dance Monkey. Fair enough. Thank you, Acrid. Acrid also became a Ko-Fi caffeine creep, all spelled with a K. over on Ko-Fi. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, man. Okay, finally, it's over. The nightmare has ended. All right, well, we're going to actually get to Tacticon first. Now, Tacticon, if you are not familiar, is a company, or I should say, well, they're still a company as of right now.
Kinda.
Tacticon.
Limbo.
They're in a little bit of limbo. So when you search Tacticon on YouTube, the second thing that pops up underneath their channel is, for some reason, our video.
Oh no.
On Tacticon.
Oh,
Tacticon,
no.
sorry. Well, so Tacticon has been having a bit of financial issues. Now, I know that, what's their faces? TA Targets called me out for being negative about companies in the 2A space. And so I do want to keep in mind that I'm going to try and be nice and try and be positive here. But the reason why I think this sort of stuff is important to cover, because allegedly Tacticon, quote unquote, furloughed a bunch of employees while promising them bonuses and promising them that they were going to get paid. Allegedly, some of them worked for months without pay at Tacticon because they were having financial struggles, and some of them had to dip into savings. They lost all their money that I have. So I think that it's important to hold people accountable for that sort of behavior. So this isn't to clown on them for their downfall. In the ideal scenario, Jake actually does get his investment, because I saw a little birdie sent me their, what do they call it, their pitch deck for an investment that they're shopping around to investors. So I have their full pitch deck, redacted, of course, and then I have some more info on their Pro 2A courses from somebody who also had to file a chargeback to get his money back because the services were not being rendered to him after he bought into their 2A Pro thing. So I think it's important to call them out for their bad behavior, but still the ideal scenario is that they somehow get some money, are able to make it up to everybody that lost on it. And if that is not possible, then the company does deserve to go under and go out of business. If you can't meet your financial obligations, if you can't pay your workers, if you can't provide the services that people are paying for, well, then you have to go away and you have to go under. That's just how the world works, unfortunately. And it doesn't mean people aren't outside of redemption. It doesn't mean that people can't make it sometime in the future, but companies fail. It happens. It just does, right? All right. So let's go here. So on the Tacticon pitch deck. Now, a pitch deck, as far as I'm aware, as somebody who is, I have an economics degree, it's a generic business degree or whatnot, but I haven't been doing that sort of stuff for like a decade now at this point. So a pitch deck is essentially like, you're pitching your business model, what you need, what went wrong to investors, and you're making an ask. You're like, here's the problems we've faced, here's what we have, here's what went wrong, and with your $5 million in cash, which is what Tacticon is asking for, here's what we can do moving forward, right? So they're laying out the story. Here's what we have, all of our physical assets, all of our personnel, so on and so forth. We came into hard times for XYZ reasons. We need this money to fix these things, and then we will move on in a positive direction from there with your investment, basically. So, Tacticon Armament Investor Deck. So the agenda, blah, blah, blah. Our mission, affordable defensive gear. Now, Motto, what is Tacticon famous for making? Or the most famous product that they've ever made?
Well, I wouldn't even say, were they actually making them, or were they just purchasing really shitty TQs from China?
That's a fair point. Correct. They were reselling and white labeling tourniquets from China and passing them off as, life-saving devices. Now, I will say I have heard reliably that they were okay quality tourniquets. I personally don't like the idea of cheaping out on life-saving devices or anything else like that. Like, I wouldn't buy a $20 Amazon Red Dot, even if a couple people have said they work fine, right? That's just not my style. I think if you're going to be serious about something, serious about defense, offense, medical equipment, you want to buy the real deal and not something that may hold up as well, right? And I get it, people are on a bit of a budget, that are in a financial crunch, but I think that is still wise in the long run to buy quality gear that actually does what it's supposed to do and not getting the cheapest thing imaginable. Right, because, like, listen, we've all probably bought something off of Amazon or eBay for like $20 to $30 and thought, oh, well, it'll be fine, and maybe it worked for a little while, but it probably didn't work for very long. And when it comes to tourniquet kits, like real life-saving medical equipment, again, I just don't think it's responsible either for the company or for the individual to buy it.
Yeah, I don't know as that I would trust Amazon to be able to handle the tourniquet either. Like, they can break anything. I said, I don't know as that I would trust Amazon to handle the tourniquet and deliver it either. They break anything that they touch.
Or they'll ship you a fake one.
Yeah. Well, so domestic manufacturing, maintaining full vertical integration and production within the U.S. to ensure quality control, job creation, and strategic independence. Now, that's a very fancy way of saying we have some presses and CNC machines for making our plastic holsters or Kydex holsters, because they did have like an in-house holster manufacturing and some magazine pouches. And then they also had some steel armor as well. And I believe that's all that they had as far as in-house manufacturing. Some plastic pouches holsters and steel armor. Pretty sure that's about it.
I did not know they sold plates. That's news to me.
Yeah, the plates are one of their big sellers. So 2015 garage start, 2016 product expansion, 2019 steel body armor launch. So again, in 2016, they made holsters, IWB holsters, gun magnets, optics, tactiles, assault packs. Well, they didn't make those, but those are just cheap Amazon white label rebrands. 2020 to 2021 revenue surge. Now the seeds of defeat are often sown in success. So you have this huge revenue surge, you buy more equipment, you bring on more people because you're like, oh, well, business is going up 25% a year, 50% a year. Therefore, in 5 years, we're going to be doing crazy numbers, right? But you're not projecting a downturn usually, which is unfortunately what happened to them. And I do mean unfortunate, right? Nobody wants them to not be able to pay their employees, right? The employees don't deserve that. 2022 bulk armor exports responded to Ukraine and Israel conflicts with increased bulk armor exports, expanding international footprints. So yes, Tacticon was sending steel plates. That's what they're alleging, that they were exporting. They were exporting steel plates to Israel and Ukraine.
And tourniquets. Remember, they said that they were...
And tourniquets as well.
Yeah.
I want to say it.
Say it.
I mean, no, I'm not going to say it. I won't say it. There's a joke to be made there about selling shitty plates to...
Election year 2024, record-breaking year at almost $20 million in revenue. Growth in social media brand exposure, demand from election year contributed to a revenue spike. Now again, 2024 was their biggest year, but also their most controversial year. That's when we had our chat and our skiff and fallouts with like Lucas Botkin and whatnot. Funnily enough, Tacticon and T-Rex Arms may be in a very similar financial pitch or financial circumstance as of right now, and they might both be pitching to investors to try and raise cash. And 2025, demand constraints. So here's where Trump gets elected, and so the fears, the suspicions about the future, all of that sort of projection and sort of, pessimism at the future, that dies down. So demand drops 60% basically overnight. And when you've expanded, when you've bought a bunch of stuff, when you spent all that revenue you made, and then sales drop by 60% basically overnight, well, you're going to have some problems because employees still need to get paid. Vision statement: to be the most trusted source of affordable personal defense equipment for civilians, law enforcement, and allied forces worldwide. Integrity, innovation, which again, allegedly not rendering services to the people on your monthly payment plans and not paying your employees. Not great integrity, if all of that sort of stuff is too. Innovation, citation needed for that. Patriotism, buying Chinese imports, neutral, I would say. Like, I sold optics on my website, right? So I mean, it's not that that's a net negative all the time, but I don't know necessarily how that's patriotic. And again, what would be more patriotic was probably paying your employees. Customer obsession.
It's patriotic because when they white labeled the optics, they would print a American flag
That's right.
on the side of it.
Hell yeah,
best-selling categories was body armor and plate carriers. So cheap Chinese plate carriers and steel armor was their best product category. Holsters, which was made in-house, and optics and sights. Now, the optic and sights that Tacticon makes are like the worst of the worst Amazon, eBay special garbage stuff. You can see that they have their revenue charts here, and you can go to details about where it all comes in. I grade out information that you guys don't need to see. Facility footprint size, Amazon account health performance, 98.2% on-time delivery, which is good. Their inventory management system, again, which you guys don't really need to see. We have a full list of all of their manufacturing equipment, which is not really all that much, but for the stuff that they make in-house, it's more than enough, and I'm sure it suffices. They go through their entire manufacturing capability. Now, their quality control process, I just thought was interesting. So at Tacticon, quality control is top priority, whether it's our overseas goods or in-house manufacturing. We'll hold everything to the same rigorous standards. For overseas products, we implement a 3-step QC process. First, the manufacturer conducts their own internal quality checks. Second, the goods are inspected by a third-party QC testing firm. And finally, upon arrival at our facility, our in-house QC specialist provides the final approval before any product reaches our customers. Our mission is to deliver body armor that protects you 100% of the time, not 99% of the time. To ensure this, we cut a sample plate from each master sheet, which is just like whatever heat number or lot your steel gets tested from. You're going to take a chunk of that individual piece and subject it to live fire testing with various firearms and ammunition. These tests are recorded and uploaded to our website so customers can see the proof that their armor has been thoroughly vetted. I don't need to get into the debate about rifle steel armor, but not my thing. Not my thing. You can see all the stuff that they use. That's in their media portfolio, media capabilities, and development product lines. So this is stuff that they're working on. Lightweight composite full body armor solutions for enhanced protection and mobility. Pelvic armor, outer thigh, etc. So you're talking about
Painter armor.
A full suit of armor, right? Have you seen, who is it? It's the based armor guy. What's his name? Gosh dang it. He's always posting memes and being funny on Instagram. What's his name?
Oh, Hoplite?
Hoplite.
Yeah.
So Hoplite armor also sells. He sells the shoulder pads. He sells the thigh pads. He sells all the things. So you can get out there and you can look like your own little Mandalorian. You can have a full set of rifle-rated armor, which is cool. I think that tech is nice. Overhead drone defeat panels designed to counter emerging aerial threats. Interesting. Vehicle armor inserts tailored for tactical and commercial vehicles. Also interesting. CCAP custom cut program enabling precise mission-specific armor configuration. So like you can make your own armor panels or design your own armor panels. That's kind of interesting. Night vision accessories, expanding operational capability in low-light environments. That's so vague, I have no idea what they mean by that. Then you can go through their intellectual property: battle beam, battle vest, Tacticon, concealed carrier, battle bag, Tacticon armament, battle torch, battle pack, battle belt.
Well.
You can see I blanked out basically all of because they list all their employees there, and I don't need to dox all those guys. Furlough details. So this is where they get into kind of some of the issues. Beginning in February of this year, we initiated a work share furlough program due to financial challenges outlined earlier. Revenue was insufficient to support the existing infrastructure. Under this program, employees on furlough typically work 16 hours per week, with the remaining hours covered by EDD. On May 2nd, we moved to a furlough for 10 employees across shipping, production, and composite. By June 16th, per EDD guidelines, we were required to bring these employees back for 1 full week in order to keep them on furlough status. Unfortunately, we couldn't afford to do so and were forced to lay them off. However, we agreed to rehire them with an appreciation bonus once we secured additional investment. We currently still have a few employees on partial furlough. Now, that is not the story that was told to me by a former employee of theirs, who basically let me know that he had worked for a month and a half without pay, and he had to basically bankrupt himself to not lose his house with his wife and family. which is not a great look for them. And he got a check from them at one point, and then it bounced. He's talked to lawyers about everybody suing them, but lawyers don't want to sue a sinking ship because they have no money to get from Tacticon, so it's not really worth it all that much to sue them. So this is a little bit different than what I've actually heard. So with what they need, engineer, R&D, web developers, AR, AP specialists, and in-house human resources representative. I don't know why they need that. Let's see here. So they're projecting, I don't know what these numbers mean, but they're projecting a 7% year-over-year growth in the body armor market and a long-term growth in the firearms market as well, although very interestingly, it cuts off in 2024. So you can see that it would probably dip if I were to project, I would say it's going to dip until 2026, 2027. Demand cycle catalyst, again, it's going to go to 2025, demand contraction. So key problems facing business. So I want to get significant inventory shortages since late 2024 due to post-election sales collapse. We forecasted a heavy quarter four. So this is where everything went to crap for them, basically. So they over forecasted a heavy quarter four, placed 30% deposits on raw materials and inventory. Then when quarter four underperformed, they didn't have the money to pay for the additional 70% for the inventory and raw materials, leaving them with little capital, meaning no money, and minimal inventory, so they can't make any money. So this overprojection, this miscalculation here is what really cost the company and cost a lot of companies in the gun industry late 2024, early 2025, which is why we've seen, 3-4 companies in the gun industry go over or get sold in the last 4 months, 5 months. Long lead times, extended lead times for both finished goods and raw materials driven by supply chain disruptions and capital constraints impacting customer satisfaction and repeat sales momentum. Elevated working capital debt limits operational flexibility and increased financing costs, necessitating debt retirement to stabilize cash flow and support growth initiatives. So what they need a lot of money to get this stuff up, right? Now they go through their products, which for their armor, they have both composite armor and metal armor. The composite armor, I am not clear if they actually make that stuff in-house or not. So maybe they make all the armor in-house, but I'm not entirely sure about that, so I don't want to say one way or the other. But when we come down to the chest rigs and the battle vests and the other stuff, it's just generic Chinesium, white labeled nothingness. It's nothing special at all. It's just normal stuff. So when you go down to their medical supplies, you have TQ soft holders, compression gauze. Hopefully the actual medical stuff is made in America, or at least made where it's supposed to be made. And all the little IFAK holders. The optics, guys, this is where it's really cringe. You have like the Sight Mark knockoff, not even a real Sight Mark. You have like the Apex Predator V3 Solo, which is it looks like a double riser mount. Generic 3x magnifier that everybody uses. Generic 1 to 4 LPVO that's probably garbage.
The 3x magnifier doesn't even stay in place. I had to mill a slot and actually epoxy in magnets to hold it.
You got the 30 millimeter red dot clone that sucks. You got the generic red dot that everybody uses that Vector makes. You got the Chinesium backup irons. They're lights. It's the cringe stuff, bro. You got the broom handle with the light on top. Battle Beam V1 laser, which is a pistol mounted red laser from 2004. Battle Torch V1, which is cringe. They do have one rifle light that doesn't look terrible because it's fully integrated. All of their pistol stuff looks like garbage. All of their old accessories look like garbage. It's just generic, cheap Amazon slop. This stuff they allegedly make in-house, which is their plastic holsters, right? And some of their mag pouches, which are probably fine. And the secondary component to what they make or a contract to make is the Breakout Manufacturing and 2A Alpha products, which is their single stage trigger and Glock 19 slides and some other, like a generic AR components or whatnot, which is kind of probably not fun for a company based in California. But it's just, now remember guys, keep in mind that as we're looking through this product list, in 2024, they sold $20 million of this product. They sold $20 million worth of this stuff to probably the lowest common denominator people, which is kind of sad when you think about it, right? Because that 20 million bucks probably could have gone to better products. Right. So, U.S. manufacturing, body armor, steel, and composite. So they're saying all their body armor is at least made in the U.S., not necessarily all by them. Inside, outside the waistband holsters and the magazine pouches, Glock slides, triggers, and firearms. And then overseas is everything else. So optics, lights, lasers, plate carriers, backpacks, placards, grips, slings, universal holsters, medical supplies, armor, rent, that's awkward, and many more. And you can see their best sellers. Almost all of it just there's one made in the USA product, actually two, because you got the holsters and their special rifle threat plates, which I like. I like the lightweight plates. I mean, just because obviously they're light, but everything else is kind of generic Amazon garbage. You can see that they had a huge uptick between 2020 2024. COVID plus election fears going to drive traffic. Now, this is what the real graph, this is interesting. Website traffic over time peaked in April of 2024, which actually might have been when we had our debate, April of 2024, and then basically has crashed by 60-70%. You can see that this is their revenue channel, direct to consumer, versus some of the other stuff going on. Let me see. So, now, I do want to talk about something very important. So, Amazon does 30% of their business. Direct-to-consumer, that's their website, does 70% of the business. Wholesale, 3.4%. Because remember, they have a wholesale brand, which we're going to get into in just a minute. You can see their YouTube analytics, which their subscriber numbers look fantastic, right? The subscriber numbers look great. Everything else is pretty terrible. Like my channel with way less subscribers pulls way more watch time, and in some cases, well, not views, because they do a lot of shorts views. They do crazy shorts views, but my watch time and revenue is insanely beyond what they do. Without hiring like a dedicated media team as well, which I find quite funny. Marketing channels, don't care about that. Okay, so this is what they want to do. 2025, the second half, near-term launches, so actually get back up and running. 2026, expand the armor lines. Late 2026, new armor products. And 2027, they need to get recertified. So we need $5 million. They go over some of their other stuff that they want to do. Pending sales, orders awaiting payment. So they need $150,000 just to pay their brokers to actually get stuff in. I think that's what that's saying there. Bottom line, we need $5 million to remove the debt drag, reload, sell through stock, and feeds demand, transforming a debt-burdened asset into an equity-positive, cash-generating platform on day one. They need $5 million, is what they're saying, to pay off their debts, to bring on new hires, to expand the lineups, and to prepare for the future. They need $5 million. So, after going through that pitch deck, who wants to buy in?
I'd buy that for $1.
I don't understand why doesn't he just sell all of the assets that is it due to debt? I mean, like, why not just sell everything he has and just go away?
He wants to fix it. And I get it. It's his
possible.
Baby. Well, not only does he want to fix it, but he also wants to not go under, because I think that, and I understand it, that if it goes under, it is a huge hit to his personal ego and to his dream and to his reputation, right? If your company goes under, I think it is. I get it, right? It's not an easy situation to be in, and he is looking for a way through, right?
There's no possible way.
He's trying to thread that needle, and his hope and his dream is $5 million.
Even if he gets to 5 million, there's no possible way he can fix it if he stays in California. The amount of taxes that they're paying alone would be enough to fund a small outfit, right?
Mm-hmm. Now, I also have to say that as a investor, let's say I was a rich man, and I was thinking about, I listened to his pitch, and I'm like, okay, just in my mind, with my knowledge of the firearms industry, do I predict an uptick within the next 2 years? Like, no.
Well, I mean,
not unless some major world event happens, right?
Given the last
Even
week,
then.
So I'm going to give you $5 million in hopes that in 2029 we can start seeing some revenue growth, right? Because I mean, what's my ROI on this as an investor, right? It's a long time. Long time.
if ever.
Now let's talk about revenue real fast. So 2A Alpha manufacturing retail shop does about $300,000 a year because it was open in March of 24. Veteran CNC, which is like some extra CNC stuff. Now this is the big one. This is huge. I didn't realize it was this big. The 2A Pro, which is their mentorship program, right, does $1.7 million annually, getting people to pay in and sign up for all of their BS. Nearly $2 million. 1.1 of that goes to Tacticon.
Don't believe
annually.
it.
Well, no, but you're gonna figure it out, because guess what? Not only did I have a little birdie tell me about their not paying their employees, not only did I have a separate little birdie send me their investment deck, but I had another little birdie talk to me about their 2A program and how it is designed to just leech money hand over fist from the people that actually sign up for the 2A Pro endeavor. So why don't we get into that now? So 2A Pro, if you're not familiar, this is kind of what it looks like. It is a subscription buy-in model that Jake sells as sort of a... Actually, let me see if I can get an actual screenshot of it. 2A Pro Tacticon. Let me see if I can actually pull it up. Is that it? No. Where is it?
It's okay to talk, Jake.
Oh,
Well, he
sorry.
might be just chilling.
I didn't get introduced, so I figured I wasn't supposed to talk.
Jake, how's your day going, man?
It's going great, man. I just wanted to, say hi and say
will
my
talk
piece
about-
with
we will-
Mr. Mod eventually.
Okay, yeah, we'll get to it. Don't worry. Okay, well, I tried to find it. I couldn't find the actual link to it. But essentially what it is for the base model, it's like a $500 buy-in. Used to be $1,000. For the high-end model, it used to be $2,000. Now it's like $1,000, right? And so you buy in to this, you get access to all of their training materials, and then you get access to their private group chats, and then you pay a monthly fee after that. Right? So essentially what 2A Pro is supposed to do is it's supposed to equip you, much like Hustler University, it's supposed to equip you to be able to make a pro 2A business, right? And they make claims like you'll make $10,000 in the first 30 days. The way that they claim that is because they'll give you $10,000 worth of Chinese junk to go sell at your local gun show, sorry. And people actually do make money that way, because apparently scamming people at gun shows is like really easy to do. I wouldn't consider that the moral thing to do, but it is easy to do. So yeah, you get access to their group chats and whatnot, all that sort of fun stuff, and then you get these lesson plans, which I'll go ahead and start reading off about this. Okay, so cancel membership workforce. I went to my bank. Okay, so I have a gentleman reaching out to me from this group that bought in, so a bought and paid member of this, that was in here interacting with people, trying to use it to actually grow his Pro 2A business. He had to go to his bank to file a services not rendered reimbursement complaint to get them to stop charging him the monthly fee. And again, this is after he's already bought into it. When he joined the program, he fell for the gimmick of the countdown, because of course they had that fake countdown saying, listen guys, you only got 23 hours to join before the price doubles. Which isn't real. It never changes. It's just a gimmick. So he paid the $500 monthly payment, or the one-time buy-in, and then you pay a monthly fee after that, and then you get access to the 2A Pro, back end, basically. You get to white label their products. I didn't know when I first signed up there was such peril, and many of the people that I emailed never responded. So he pays his money, $500 buy-in, monthly payment after that, and people don't even respond to his emails. There are about, how many members does it say there are? Let me see. There's 358 actual members in some of these chats, but only like 20 people are actually active in there. So it kind of, a lot of people bought in, not a lot of people actually use it. There's one. I'm trying to make sure I don't dox anybody in here. So it's kind of allegations that some of the people in these group chats were pretending to be sellers, but actually paid employees of Tacticon who are trying to, like, you know, rile people up and be like, oh, you know, this is so great, this is so good. Basically working as like crowd control. Let me see here. So what they do though is, so you get all these course videos that are pre-recorded. So for your $500 buy-in, you get all of these videos that you can watch at your leisure. There's a bunch of different things in there. The videos are like 3 minutes to an hour long, depending on what it is. Some of it is helpful and useful, so the guy actually does praise some of the videos in there that Jake made for actually starting your company. I'm not sure if that's worth the buy-in price as or some of the other stuff that you have to deal with, but some of it was actually good. Let me see here. All right, so part of the problem with it though is, shoot, I'm trying to find, there's a lot of stuff in here. I'm trying to not ruin. Okay, so he buys in, he pays the $500, he gets the monthly, he's making the monthly payments, he's doing the stuff, he's watching the videos, he's doing that. So supposedly you're supposed to get access to WordPress. You're supposed to like have them design the website for you. They also set you up with a payment processor, which means that they get a selection of all of your sales that you set up through them. And so they're supposed to help you with the design of the website, WordPress, and then the payment processor, all of that stuff. So they are integrally linked in your website and in all of your sales. So however much money you're making, they're also making a cut of that as well. The problem is that the websites kept crashing. People lost access to their websites and to their WordPress backend because of Tacticon's financial issues. And this gentleman was trying to have his website designed and get it up and running, but they just never did. They never responded to emails. There are group chat conversations, which I can pull up here. It is all censored, so I'm not doxing anybody, but it's all censored and being like, hey, is this person still here? Where are they? I can't talk to anybody. Nobody is responding to my emails. What is going on here, basically? So, which sucks, though, because these people, especially if they've been in there a long time, not only did they pay a huge sign-in fee, somewhere between $500 and $2,000, depending on what package they bought, but then they also perhaps white-labeled products through Tacticon, so they had to buy Tacticon's products, which are already just Chinese products, and then white-label them with their own brand. They were paying for websites through Tacticon, payment processors through Tacticon, and Tacticon every step of the way gets a cut of that. So from the business perspective, it's a great moneymaker for Tacticon. Unfortunately, allegedly, they just weren't actually holding up their end of the bargain, so people paid them a lot of money and didn't get anything at Yeah, Bert says, the Tacticons. All right, that wraps up the Tacticon section. Jake, you can go ahead and get into it with Mono if you want.
Well, I wasn't mad at him or anything. But yeah, I did want to say,
fake internet drama.
yeah. I'm really mad at you, Mono. You're encroaching on my turf as a meme generator, the resident memer, and I just think you're on the wrong block right now.
Brother, I've been making memes for 10 years, okay? I was making memes before Rads was on Instagram, but he was really big when I started, okay? I've been doing this shit for a long time.
You're supposed to say you've been doing it since before I was born.
I don't know how old
missed opportunity. It's all right. I did want to say, I want to bring it back to the anti-hero subject. Just because I wanted to say something on that. Yeah, I have not seen anything about a DV at all. What I have seen, and if you believe what they've said and, you know, the stuff they put out, and the fact that Brent has not really been on the streams very much or on the podcast very much.
Yeah.
I think he's very busy. He has like 3 or 4 companies. He's traveling all the time. He's also starting a new podcast. And the way they made it sound, I mean, I just listened to an episode today, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll definitely have Brent back on for the lives and stuff." So I don't think there's bad blood there. And also, it'd be super weird for it'd be kind of weird for Tyler to just stay on the podcast if he's the one with the DV charge. I think that was kind of some misinformation.
Well,
Thank
let's
God.
see. Let's see.
Yeah.
Mickey G did put up. They don't have any posts, so I can't check. But let me see here. Let's see what Mickey G has to say.
Podcasts that have been out there talking shit about every veteran who's actually done something and sitting around with your fucking retard friends that wear sunglasses in studio, shit like that, smoking cigars and drinking. There's a podcast out there. I don't know if you know it, just disbanded.
Today we share that we are mutually parting ways with Brent Tucker. Although a difficult decision, Brent's hard work and dedication were an intricate part in the success of the Anti-Hero podcast.
A bullshit?
Ah.
A bullshit? A bullshit. A bullshit.
It's the loud minority that are demanding I say something. First off, I don't know if you fucking know who I am. But this podcast started when it wasn't so PC. I don't give a fuck who you are, and you're not gonna tell me what the fuck to do. Let's get that fucking straight. This is my fucking podcast. There's tons of people involved, but the one thing you aren't gonna do is tell me that I have to do something.
Better fucking make sure your house is clean.
It looks like the bro vet sphere might be getting infected as there are some skeletons in people's closets. You will want to stay for the entire video of this because there are some crazy, crazy accusations that are.
I don't know Nikki MGTV. He's gone over our streams before with Nate and Valhalla on his show when we had him on, which was quite funny.
Are going on. I promise you, this has a lot of twists and turns. First off, we have to talk about Rob O'Neill. I would not put on my bingo card. He would
make sure your house is clean.
I don't care about Rob O'Neill.
Cigars, sunglasses inside. That is known. The second one is Nate over at Valhalla VFT.
And then you forgot that Nate does have...
Oh, dude, it's us. Yes, I'm on it again. Thank you,
You're
Nikki.
famous, John.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I wouldn't say famous, more like retarded. There I am. Look at me. Doing the same pose.
Master's degree in business administration with a lawyer father.
Which has essentially done the whole brand of Tim Kennedy and has made videos on Rob O'Neill as well. And that's kind of where that's at. So he's like, hey, be careful. Be fucking
Paveway, that's so true. The Brovet sphere is rapidly approaching South Park depictions of Harley riders. That is so true.
careful. Now, that was released. And then what I saw on the Anti-Hero podcast shows this is true. To the Anti-Hero family, today we share that we are mutually parting ways with Brent Tucker. Although a difficult decision, Brent's hard work and dedication were an intricate part in the success of the Anti-Hero podcast. Brent is going to be making big moves here soon, and the Anti-Hero podcast will be in full support. Moving forward, the Monday morning shows will now be rebranded as a live Anti-Hero broadcast and the stream live on YouTube.
I mean, that statement is really supportive, so I don't actually have any problem with that.
Ewalk Wick says, well, Mikuya, which is Robert O'Neill, says, called that was going to happen. This is getting spicy. Now, I have to share, there are rumors circulating, which I've been made aware of them, and it sounds like Robert O'Neill has as well. And a lot of people are being hush-hush about this because the comments are like, there is a grenade over there, a Tim Kennedy one right there. This was on YouTube. It says, a few weeks ago, Tyler quit his job as a sheriff's deputy. He claimed he retired. In actuality, he quit because he's currently under investigation by internal affairs.
Oh, so this is where that allegation came from, Jake. Are you aware of the updated information alleged by this one random YouTube commenter? Jake, answer the allegations, sir.
I haven't heard about this. And I don't really know, man. Yeah, I don't really trust YouTube commenters.
Oh, me neither.
Not usually.
Brent was made aware of the investigations to Tyler and left the show. Brent hasn't made a public announcement yet. Those are the facts. You can verify at least one of them by checking out the latest live show, where you can plainly see that almost Brent stuff has been removed.
Point, you are going to have to make the jump if you want your businesses to survive. Yeah. A lot of guys won't, and they think, well, I'll just do both. It sounds great on paper. I'm going to retire and then kill it. But I'm telling you, at the end of the day, if you try to now kickstart a business at the age of retirement, you're already set up to fail. You're on the back end of life. Mm-hmm. You're out of touch with social media. You're out of touch with the industry. You're out of touch with everything.
So if you look back, there's a clear difference between when Brent was there, when Brent wasn't there, and that was pretty obvious. And I don't know why they didn't address it before this, because in that podcast, people were like, where's Brent at? Explain to us. Case and Jelly writes, Brent and his brother Drew have permanently separated from Anti-Hero podcast. Tyler, Brent's former co-host, is under investigation by the Internal Affairs Office of his old law enforcement job. Brent was notified of the allegations against Tyler and decided to leave Anti-Hero without telling anyone. Reddit user on
Okay, so that's probably the same guy posting the same comment.
Source
okay.
Reddit user.
Source for Reddit user 915. Okay, that's funny because I've had the same thing happen to me where somebody posts something on Reddit and then they commented copy and paste on every single one of my videos, like trying to get the word out of there. And I'm like, is this real or is this just somebody schizo posting?
Yeah,
I don't think it's safe to do that without any source material or any official documentation whatsoever. That's not something that anybody should ever throw around.
Yeah, you know, I'm going to accuse an internet personality of DV. That should be fun.
Yeah, and it's funny.
Now, the hilarious part about this is
it's funny too because like if you look back even like 2 podcasts ago, Brent was there, you can just see a trend though of Brent not being there as often because he's traveling for training or traveling for whatever. So it's kind of funny. I feel like people are kind of
Blowing
running
it
with
out of
some,
proportion. I think
it's very
people are
interesting.
hungry. People are hungry for like drama, especially anti-hero. Okay,
Yeah.
because anti-hero has haters, like really.
Yeah.
Because people, they go after people, and it
A lot
makes
of
people who
veterans.
like those people. Yeah, it makes people who like those people, like John McPhee fans, Tim Kennedy fans, when he had them. It makes those people really, really mad.
Yeah,
So,
I think they've put a target on themselves.
people are hungry for revenge, quote unquote.
Yeah.
You know,
They've definitely put a target on themselves. But yeah, it is kind of funny. And that being said, if something comes out like other than Reddit user source, that would change things obviously. But from what I can tell right now, I don't think there's any like bad blood there.
Credible information, yeah.
Yeah, I hope not.
Is people are essentially saying, without Brent, without the Green Beret side of this podcast, there is no podcast. Flintlock Nick says, Brent's gone, I'll be outside. Dank Memes for Dragon Scenes says, Brent was the podcast. That can tell you a lot. And what's crazy is this podcast has had a lot of success between talking about the Tim Kennedy situation, talking about John.
Although, to be fair, I don't know why you would leave this podcast when it is like a really popular podcast on YouTube. Even if you're a busy man, like I'm sure they were pulling in really good numbers from the live streams, from the sponsorship deals, just from you know, ad revenue in general. Like some of their hit pieces, or not even hit pieces, some of their expose. Well, some of their expose videos got like millions of views for a 2-hour long piece. We're talking about 20 to 30 grand per video in ad revenue.
Yeah, but I'm not sure though, because I just mean like as far as the time commitment. Because like if you're on a show,
but he's starting another podcast from scratch though, right? So what does that tell you? What does that tell you?
I mean, I think he's able to start another podcast from scratch, and he will almost instantly get a following.
Well, right, but does he just not want to share revenue? Maybe he was saying, "Oh, 20K in a video, that's great, but I only see 2.5 because you know we got business expenses, we split it, and then we got 3 people working for us." You know.
It could be. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't know much about Brent. I know that he does a lot of they do a lot of charity stuff. I know Brent does like free training for SWAT teams. So I don't know
used
that
to be a
he's
preacher too.
I think his brother used to be.
Oh, I thought he was a pastor.
But he doesn't seem like the money hungry type of person. But I could be wrong. Obviously, it's just based on what I've seen.
McPhee and other special operations hot button topics, they have 120 something thousand subscribers. You don't just walk away from that. They have thousands, literally thousands.
Bro
of
looks like Adolf
as
Hitler
well that are getting money.
He looks like soy Adolf Hitler.
Based.
Shout out that super chat we didn't acknowledge earlier about him being the Nazi in the hoodie.
So he's starting a new podcast. Did he actually clear up any of the allegations, though? Did somebody actually look up if there is a real internal investigation going on?
Rests the fact that many Delta Force interviews that were very viral online, not just on my channel, but on other channels as well, have disappeared from the internet, have been taken down. And that includes, yes, me taking down lots and lots of videos. I have had several people reach out, ask what the hell happened. I posted something on Instagram on Friday night, trying to give a brief explanation about the interviews kind of coming to an end. And over the course of the past week or so, I don't remember the exact day, I've had several former operators reach out to me very politely, asking for their interviews to come down due essentially to, you know, there's probably no better way to phrase it than just say national security concerns from the top down about these guys doing interviews. I want to be clear. These guys are retired. They have all been retired for a very, very, very long time. They do not know anything about what's going on over there currently, nor from my read of the situation, they didn't say this, but this is my read of the situation, nor do they care at all.
Yeah, very politely. I think these Delta guys asking anybody very politely is an interesting choice of words.
So
they reached out very politely.
Good.
This is my hypothesis. I would assume that after the whole Shrek thing, that whatever Delta or whatever their top guys were like, hey, you need to go get all your stuff off the internet because we're doing investigations and you're going to get whatever. I can't remember what the term is when they like basically kick them out and they can't like come back anymore
or something like that.
Well, there's a thing they do where it's like a dishonorable, like you're basically not, PNG. That's what Ivan said. you're not really allowed around anymore. You can't really go to functions anymore. You're just kind of like a black sheep at that point. So I'm wondering if they kind of came out and said that, which would make sense if everyone's doing that.
And said, hey, there's issues. We've got problems. Would you do me a huge favor and please take these interviews down? I then, alone and without speaking to anybody else other than the specific individuals involved.
A lot of people are not buying it because when you're saying guys have been retired for years and years and now it's a national security issue, I'm not really buying that. I don't think that's the case. I think there are other powers that be that said, we need to start scrubbing our social medias. We are being looked at, investigated, and people are starting to dig up our dirty laundry. That's what I think is happening here. And what's interesting is that there was such a national security.
Well, I think that it's kind of coming for everybody in a way, because with like basically everybody that's gotten big in the brovet sphere and told all of their stories, at some point, like it comes out that that guy lied about a couple things. I think it's happened to basically all of them.
Yep.
Concern. Why would you still have people like Brent Tucker and Valhalla and other people that are CO Team 6 people, Rob O'Neill? I don't hear any of those guys saying, hey man, I got to take down videos. We got to scrub this. We have some serious stuff. This would be big news. A lot of people would probably be talking about it in some way, shape, or form, or putting this piece of the puzzle together. I'm making this video only to show the House of Cards is falling, only to show that people have skeletons in their closet. And it appears they're a lot more closer proximate to the vet bro space community, and it's infiltrated it, which could effectively be ruining kind of the character that has been built upon the brand.
Interesting. Please do Valhalla next. No, Valhalla is funny. What are you talking about, man? Where Nate stand?
Skibbity toilet Riz. Okay.
Yeah. What do you got to say to that? Huh?
I think there's a big difference between the guys who are like in the tier 1 units and the guys who are just Green Berets too. I think the like culture of secrecy is a lot higher there, and it's really frowned upon for those guys after the fact to be talking about it, even if it's in a good light, even if they don't like, share specifics. And I think it's just now it's getting to the point where there's a lot of sleuths on the internet and a lot of accusations coming out, and it's not a good look for any of them.
It's really easy to cross-reference things now.
Yeah.
It's really easy to figure out who's lying and who's not.
I would go out on a limb and say that most of those guys have probably done things that they don't really want people to know about, Sometimes you have to do bad things for the country,
People shouldn't live in glass houses as well.
Yes, so
if you're
true.
calling out, if you're calling out, because we're always watching, right? If you're calling out people for what they do in their civilian life, and you're caught doing some of the same stuff, man, internet is not a kind place, nor should it be. For your hypocrisy. So, and that's something I gotta consider for myself as well,
Yeah,
Which is why it pays to be a poor internet retard that doesn't do anything exciting whatsoever. All right, the Lightspore for 2 says, I can hear the 20-minute mile time in the voices. I think that's directed at Motto and Richard.
All right.
Thank you, the Lightspore. Moonman for 5 says, Lightspore, I don't let people see me because I'm a Fed. Others don't let people see them because they're going to eat the other panelists. Okay, all right. Talking about, we're Weight Watchers over here. Moonman for 5 says, Jake, poor Jenny Gay, wants Motto to talk about the bussy. Not sure why.
What? Moonman, calm down, brother.
Moonman for 2 says, I used a super chat to ask the question. Kick Jake. Ridiculous for 2 says, Tacticon main client base is the NFAC rally attendees. That's true. There is a big inner city community that loves Chinesium airsoft goods as real gear, which I'm fine with, honestly. As a irony post, I think we should arm them with all of Tacticon's LBE. I think we should just ship it into the inner city to prepare for the upcoming race wars. I think that should be good because we want to make sure it's even on both sides, right? Modern Frontier Project for 5 says, of course they turned a profit during COVID. They had all those black militias to sell to. Yeah. People were panic buying $100 a week with their COVID checks. Moonman for 2 says, no, it's not okay to talk. Shaking my head. For somebody who doesn't talk, you sure say a lot, Moonman. Just saying. Victor the third for 5 says only person more fake and gay than Candace is Tacticon. Oh, where'd she go? She's invisible because there's a black background. I actually can't see her. Where did she go?
Oof.
Richard, did you delete Candace? Oh, there she is.
It feels a little fake and gay. Gotta tell you guys, it feels a little fake and gay, and there will be no fakeness and no gayness.
Moonman for 2 says, WTF is this? I will drown you in a river. All right. Thank you, Moonman. I appreciate the threats.
Wow.
More of those today.
Moonman, tell a story.
Be funny. Don't insult me. Don't threaten me, my family again. The Lightsport for 2 says, thin blue flag, blue like flag, gross emoji. I think one of the gentlemen has the thin blue line, which signifies wife beaters anonymous. Yeah. The Lightsport for 2 says, not a real cop if you haven't had an IA before. Well, yeah, I mean, I've heard all sorts of horror stories between cops just doing their job and getting internal affairs and other crap and bureaucratic nonsense that they have to deal with. So I am sympathetic to that. Not to DV, but to, garbage shenanigans happening. Victor the third for 2 says, holy moly, phallic measurement fight. Yeah, let's do it. Dick fight. Go, 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 go. Moonman for 5 says, when I hear SF bro, vet bro, BS, I just think about the last time I saw SF guys wearing GoPros and remember that 20 sand people are usually better than them. I don't get the reference. I mean, I've seen Delta guys wearing GoPros, which is kind of funny, but yeah. No, I think it takes a lot more sand people to be better than them. Dr. Fuzzy for 5 says, the more someone has actually done in legit SF or spooky clandestine world, the less they will actually talk about their experiences. Right. There's this myth about the, the silent professional. You lose your status as a silent professional as soon as you write a book. That's what I say. You are no longer the silent professional. You are something else.
Yeah, the guy who actually shot Bin Laden on that team, he has never come out. Like no one actually, I don't think anyone even knows his real name. Like he goes by, I think it was like Red or something like that. Like he's never spoken publicly. He's never written any books. Like that's some real shit right there.
Well, you know why the person who shot Bin Laden has never spoke up. You know why, right? Because he doesn't actually exist.
Oh,
Bin Laden was never shot.
I have my own theory about who Red is. I think it's that who is that one transgender SEAL Team 6 person?
That guy?
I worked so hard to burn that from my memory, Jake. Thanks for bringing that back.
Hey, you detransitioned.
Hey,
bro.
remember
all good.
Remember allegations with a certain YouTuber in the trans SEAL team, man?
My lawyer has
advised me not to finish this line of questioning. Yep. Yeah. DM Louise for 5 says, leave the vet bros alone. They have TBIs and don't know better. So true. So true. Yeah, Troon Team 6. That's the one. Chud Miguel for 2 says, untrue. Talk to NAM combat vents. They love that shit. Well, I think there is an era where people did like just talk about that sort of stuff all the time, and we see it now as well. But it's kind of like fishing stories at a point. Sometimes you're like, sure, buddy, sure. Like you went there, you did cool things, I'm sure, but some of this stuff, I think you got a little bit of rose-tinted glasses and foggy memory on some of this stuff.
Yeah, I know somebody in the Discord who does that a lot.
There's a couple of them. Delta 9 Force, Deca 9 Force, or whatever that is. All right, so here is Ballistics Don't Lie, a video I didn't want to make. You guys wanted us to take a look at this. From outside the Overton, 600,000 views 4 days ago. So people are really interested in this. So the FBI is lying, which they usually are. That's usually a fair take in most circumstances. And this, of course, having to do with the Charlie Kirk assassination.
Welcome to Let's Talk About It. My name is Zeb Boykin. I am host of Outside the Overton. We are live at 3 o'clock Eastern every day, or every weekday. I'm trying to keep this video short and sweet. If you see anything in here worth of value, please like, subscribe. Also, please share this video out if you agree with me or if you disagree with me to find any flaws that I have in this video. Like I said, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. There's a couple of prereqs that I want to get through. First of all...
Is that his AI doing that, or is he actually editing, like, zoom-ins just to keep people's attention?
I didn't want to make this video. I still don't want to make this video, but I think it's necessary, and I feel some type of duty to it. Two, because I am a Marine, Scout Sniper. I did that for 5 years. I taught ballistics classes. I know what I'm talking about. Okay, at least a little bit. I'm not some rando out here. Three, it should be fair to assume that the FBI lies to us. I think everybody can agree on that. Given that, let's try to start this with no preconceived notion. Let's not presume anything. Let's not take them at their word on anything moving forward, specifically who the shooter is, where the shooter is, and anything from that angle. I would even go as far to say the round or the caliber of the round that the shooter was using. Also, I'm not going to touch on any of the inconsistencies of this case outside of the ballistics in the situation. There's a lot. There's so many inconsistencies, but this video is not for that. And so we're going to.
Have you guys seen the video of the guy breaking down his Mauser and carrying it in his pants? Have you guys seen that video?
I've seen a couple videos of
Yeah, I
people
watched it
doing
this
that.
morning.
I think.
Okay, so do you guys think that? Do you guys buy that?
No,
I don't know.
Not at
I
all.
don't care really. I do think it's really funny how he said, "Let's go into this with no preconceived notions and just look at the videos." It's like, well, I mean, I don't know. Ignoring evidence is kind of like whether or not you believe it's real evidence. I don't know. Evidence is just like standard operating procedure is kind of funny.
Skepticism is always a good thing. Challenging the current narratives is usually a good thing. There's a healthy amount of that. But I do get Jake's point that when you take it too far, you can miss the forest for the trees, and you're just overlooking the obvious left-wing terrorism.
Dude, I can't tell you how many videos I saw on X claiming to show, like 4 different angles, claiming to show the projectile in air.
No, yeah, that's not real.
And I'm like, you guys do not understand how bullets work. I'm sorry.
Did you guys see the video?
I didn't know if it was or not. Yeah, I can make the thing move around if I want. Okay, fine. Sorry, go ahead.
Have you guys seen the video? It's not really anything particularly special. It was just a slow down and close up on Charlie's head down to about midway to the plate he was wearing. Oh God. John?
So are you under the impression that he was wearing a plate?
Yeah. From the
I don't think he was wearing a plate, bro.
Okay, wait. So we're not even on the same page. Okay, so let's try and get our facts straight. Who on the panel thinks he was wearing a plate?
I do not.
I don't.
I also don't think he's wearing a plate. Now I understand why
I'm stupid.
I understand why you might, but I'm pretty sure you can see like his chest underneath of his shirt, which even if it was a really thin plate, you wouldn't be able to see that.
Well, they just formed the nipples into the plate now.
Well, or that. But I did see, like, when he gets shot, it's a tragic video that you should all see and understand what these people think about you. But his whole body, like, moves almost as one piece, so I could see how people might think that
was his body.
That was his body, or the wind, or the shirt, or whatever it happened to be. But it does look like it moves like a monolith, like it might have been a plate. But I'm pretty sure there wasn't, right? Because you can see his features underneath his shirt, which you could not if there was an actual plate.
All right, sorry, I'm dumb.
Yeah.
Apologies.
Or he's wearing this guy's Or Rad's arm says actually it was not a nipple, it was a magnet mic.
It was a magnet mic, yeah.
So maybe he was wearing a plate.
Everyone early on was talking. Well, no, everyone was talking about the little black speck on his shoulder. Like, oh, this is a whatever. It was like people are saying it was a blood pack or something. If you watch his other videos, it's kind of funny. You can just go back and watch the other videos and see all these things that are like weird and mysterious in close up, and you're like, oh, that's what that is. It's kind of obvious.
So, as far as the comments up here from Reformed Renegade, I didn't hear from the pastor. I did see the video someone posted, but I didn't get a chance to watch it. What I did get to see was Tim Pool clarifying Charlie was not wearing armor, and I imagine
Tim Pool's a paid operator, though. I don't know how far you want to trust him.
I saw someone in the comments saying that it was confirmed he wasn't wearing armor, so I'm gonna trust that.
I mean, my take is he isn't wearing armor, but I don't trust it because it came from Tim Pool. I trust it because when I look at him, I don't see armor plates. That's why.
The only reason why I would trust it is because Tim has been to several TPUSA events, and he said that
Yeah,
Charlie.
but that doesn't help me out either. When you look at who's funding these organizations, like I don't know why. Again, that's being very conspiratorial of me. I don't have to do any of that stuff. I can simply look at Charlie Kirk in the videos pre and post, and I do not see armor plates, even thin like wrap around. The undercover plate systems that you can wear or whatnot. I just don't see it.
He's got that. He's got that Wakanda vibranium technology.
Well, Red Right Hand says he has a plate, but
oh hey, Cody, what's up?
Cody's
my homie.
Yeah, my
almost slipped up.
Homer.
We're past the 2-hour mark where I can.
We're at 1:57. You can almost say it. Besides, you have a pass. Obviously, you can say it as much as you want.
So there's 9 camera angles. We're only going to use 4 of them, and then I'm going to wrap back around to number 1 at the end. So as we dive into this, let me show you where these camera angles are first. This is cam 1 over there to the left. Obviously, Charlie Kirk is in the centerpiece. Let me get a mouse over here. Charlie Kirk is in the center over here. Cam 1 is over here. Cam 2 is here. Cam 3 is here. Cam 4 is here. And we will refer back to those as we go. They're not exact, but they should be very, very close. And then at the end, when we go back to camera 1, I'll pull up a line to show you possible distance and shot. All right, so we're going to go take.
Well, actually, I don't know if I can even show this live.
Take a look at this. This is.
My apologies. I don't even know if I can show this live. Well, if he's actually
Go take a look at this. This is I'm just doing all this inside of Final Cut to make it easier for everybody.
Yeah, I don't know if
this is camera angle 1,
right?
Camera angle 1
what point is he trying to make?
I don't know. I haven't heard the video. You guys can hear it though, right? Even though it's
I think the point he's trying to make is that whatever we think happened did not actually happen because
I think he's going to make the point in a second that somebody from the right side of Charlie Kirk shot him with a handgun caliber. So not the front shot. I think he's going to try. This is what he's going to try and argue. So let's let him cook for a second, even though we can't watch it.
Like I said, over here, boom, camera angle 1 on Charlie's left side.
I can't even pull it up
out of this as I can. No guarantees. So if you don't want to watch it, don't. But we're going to go frame by frame real quick. This footage is obviously a little bit grainy. It's not 1963. This ain't the grassy knoll, but at the same time, there's compression that happens on the internet, and so it's hard to find original 1, 2. Then everybody wants to screenshot it because it's not downloadable. Anyway, it is grainy, so even as it goes into Final Cut, it loses a little bit of. So just halfway trust me that the video.
Do you guys remember the AI upscaled images of the shooter and how just obvious like nonsense they were? Like it changed the pattern on his shirt and all the features of the person.
It made him look like a homeless person who wanted to buy crack.
Anybody who puts out that stuff is very suspect. Like, oh, look at this AI enhanced video. It's like, that's nothing. That's a machine dream, basically. That's a machine hallucination of what the shooter might have looked like based off of inputs. That's nothing.
Let's roll. All right, so this is, like I said, camera angle 1. Let me get to it. This is camera angle 1 as we go. This is, camera angle 1 is, you can see the bullet before the frame before, right? So if we're looking right here, I don't know if you can see that on there.
No.
Zoom in.
Yes, he's doing you can see the bullet line. This is what I'm saying.
I can show this frame on. So he's saying that you can see a bullet stopped coming from the right side and it's going to penetrate Charlie Kirk's neck coming from the right side of Charlie here. That is nonsense. So even a pistol caliber traveling, let's say 1,000 FPS roughly, in a single frame captured at say 60 frames a second, so let's say a shutter speed of somewhere between 60 and 120, it's going to be moving several feet in that time frame. So while you can absolutely catch bullets in midair with high-speed photography, if on a regular cell phone camera or at a regular shutter speed, it's going to look like a blur. So it's going to look like probably 6 to 8 inches long in that.
Yeah,
like a streak.
The funny part is I saw that same angle and clip where it was zoomed in, and you can see this object for more than one frame, which is also hilarious to me.
Yeah, it's just not nothing. It's not real. So this guy, I mean, I would almost discount this entirely just based off of this image. Like if you're trying to use this image to prove that, no, look, we can see the bullet in flight. When you look how pixely this image is, that is more likely to be an artifact than a object, right? Especially against a black background, you don't know. That could be a speck on this guy's shirt right here that just rolls over for a second, so it's only visible for one frame. That is nothing.
Actually, I have a reliable source that there were 3 people in the front row. Each of them had palm pistols, and they fired from the hip simultaneously.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a bug, it could be an artifact, it could be something on that guy's shirt, it could be anything. You could see the bullet flapping its wings while it flies. True. Yeah, I mean, this is literally nothing. So if this is the basis of his arguments, that's pretty bad.
You could say, Zeb, that's just a fly flying by, or that's just a piece of dust specking up sunlight. And I could say, okay, that's fine. Let's take that. So here we have, this is a frame before it hits Charlie, right? One frame. This is one frame. Bing, bang, boom. This is a single frame. Bullet, Charlie. And you say, Zeb,
no, he's retarded.
How's that the bullet?
Retarded.
He shot him from the rooftop.
So he's showing the bullet coming from the back, right? That's what he's purporting to show, is the bullet coming from the back. But then in the next frame, he shows Charlie getting hit, which I can't show on YouTube, but you can see the front of his shirt moving up like this. I don't know how a bullet from the back coming through you like this makes your shirt and chest move up like this. I don't know how that happens. Okay, because it seems to me like it would do the opposite, because it would push you away, not back. If you've watched the footage, you can see that he recoils backwards. So I don't know what this guy is even talking about.
Top straight in front of him. I said, well, let's come into this with no understanding of what the FBI told us. This is the bullet, right? And so we're going to follow up with some more of this here in a second. That's camera 1. Obviously, there's that angle. We're going to go into camera 2. Camera 2 is a little bit brutal, but we're going to look at it from this angle right here. This is Alex Jones pulled this. Camera 2 and camera 3 have very, very similar angles, but they're a little bit different. And so we go into camera 2. We're right here. Let's go. Oops. Let's go frame by frame. Obviously, this would be the frame where you see the bullet. This would be the frame that hits. And some people...
Yeah, I can't show this on screen, but you can see the front of his shirt moving up and away. Like backwards while he's saying the bullet came from behind. Just nonsense. So yeah, it's not rage bait. It's not rage bait because his audience is kind of eating it up. Just you know, like, it's easy to distrust the FBI. I get it. Like, I get that it's easy to hate the FBI. You know, you have the JFK assassination, the Epstein client list, Las Vegas massacre, all of this other stuff that you can point out the inconsistencies on, and definitely some wacky stuff. Definitely some wacky stuff when it comes to the reporting, when it comes to the stories, and all of that stuff is fine to question, and I don't have any problem with that. But what this guy is trying to show here with this footage, to me, is just nonsense. Like, this defies what I'm actually seeing, unless my lying eyes or whatnot.
Well, what you don't understand is the FBI actually tampered with the footage.
Right. Well, yeah, those are actually,
why you're having a hard time.
Those are all FBI assets that were recording him at that time. That was another theory. The people recording him were doing it because they knew that he was going to die, or they needed to get the right angles, and then they hid the... Yeah, I don't know how he does. He's showing the opposite, because he shows his body recoil backwards and says that the shot came from behind him, which is just... I don't understand how that happens. Okay, so that was kind of nonsense. Yeah, I don't know. I can't even watch that video on stream, so I don't think it's worth going over. So I think this guy's points are kind of moot.
It kind of seems funny. Like, I don't really agree with some of the stuff that the FBI's come out with. I think it's probably happened a little bit differently than they say, but at the end of the day, it's kind of funny because it's like a lot of people are running interference, trying to distract from the fact of, like, who did it and what happened. It's like, yeah, I don't know why people are so eager to, like, prove that it was actually the FBI when in fact the person who they're saying did it kind of has a motive, and it's pretty bad.
I mean, look at this, dude. I didn't know Candace Owens was pulling these numbers. 1.3 million views on a stream 3 hours ago.
Guys, I hope everyone has...
I know. Calm down, gents.
Black Queen time.
There's a queen on screen. Relax. Sit and listen, as they say, or
what
something.
What is happening right now?
I should at first let you know that the Senate has voted and they have passed a bipartisan resolution to designate October 14th, which is Charlie's birthday, as Charlie Kirk Remembrance Day. And I have to say that is a very government maneuver. Like, we get a Martin Luther King Day, we've got Martin Luther King Boulevards, John F. Kennedy gets a library, and a first. That's interesting to me. Who killed them? Before we give them a library, I'd like to know who did it. I think that's the best way for us to learn, the best way for us to remember is to study, right? That's what I learned at grade school. That's what we're doing right now. We're studying.
Didn't Candace marry into Danish royalty?
I don't know. I bet the family
Something
wouldn't
like
be too
that.
happy about that.
It's something like that. Because and then her husband was huge friends with Andrew Tate during all of his cam girl sex trafficking days or something like that. But that's all in the past or something.
You know,
I forget how she squares that with her Christian values, supporting a Muslim pornographer. I forget how that works with her.
Studying this and learning everything. Let's at first address what many people have been emailing me constantly, asking me, can't you gotta look into this, let's look at these two strange men. We're going to refer to this as Cameragate. It is Cameragate. And I want to say this, shout out to all of the internet sleuths, the TikTokers, the YouTubers, those of you who are not playing around and you noticed this, because I did not in the beginning. But yes, as I said, there's an individual who is at first, in the moments just after the shooting, he's like up on the rocks near the car that Charlie gets taken away in while he's being carried away. Let's take a look at that footage actually first. Let's look at that footage. And don't worry, there's no gore in this episode. Difficult for me to even look at that sort of footage. Take a look. You can see Charlie's there.
Okay, I'll skip past this real fast. I think
In a little closer. Do you guys have it slow?
I don't know what they care about Cameragate here.
Right there.
So what about this guy is important?
So Candace is just, I think she's grasping at straws for some of this stuff because
Slow it down, or you guys just want to circle here? Okay. Right there. Right there.
So this guy standing up here is suspicious or something?
well, she also said that it was suspicious that the shooter allegedly went to Wendy's like 6 hours after and was just standing in line ordering food.
He had
She's
to
like,
do
well,
the
that's
4 for
suspicious.
4, bro.
Homie needs some nuggies, man.
That's Vintage Warfare's next challenge.
An individual standing there.
No.
Again, I am just amazed at internet sleuths. As I was like, wow, that is very strange. That person appears to be calmly talking into their phone. It's like a circus around them. What's he doing? Who's he speaking to?
That is grasping at straws. Like, listen, like it might be suspicious, but a guy who there's just a shot happened, people are running and scared, and he's calling somebody while standing next to concrete walls. Like, that seems like a pretty safe place to be to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm crazy reading.
I bet he opened up his flip phone and said, "Jackpot, we got him." And then
Ladies
Donald
and
Trump
gentlemen.
said, "Good."
Well, you know what he signed off with, don't you?
What?
Shalom.
Oh,
Shalom.
no.
Then, just a couple of minutes afterward, that same individual appears alongside another individual, and he moves Charlie's chair. Like, that's a crime scene. That's not good. And he moves it because he wants to stand on it as he takes down the cameras, or the camera rather, that is just above Charlie's head. That's the camera that I'm talking about on the right-hand side. That's a camera that I'm referring to, and we are going to now take a look at him. And he is also the individual, as many of you pointed out, that was near Charlie or just before the assassination. But let's check out that footage of him in the immediate aftermath, kind of switching around the cameras, the two of them. Take a look.
Okay, so this, they're saying, is the same guy, the same camera guy as before. So this guy who's hiding over there on his phone comes back specifically to move this camera.
Safety team is here. I just heard them say active shooter. Charlie Kirk has been shot. Charlie Kirk got hit.
Does that guy have a gun in his hands?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
there
he's
was a bunch of like his personal security people who all drew guns apparently as soon as this happened. Which I don't know if that's necessarily something that they should have done. But yeah, there's a bunch of just like plainclothes dudes who are obviously part of the security detail.
Safety team is here. I just heard them say active shooter. Charlie Kirk has been shot. Charlie Kirk got hit. Let's look at what the security detail just said.
So also, if that guy is part of his entourage, Like, let's say he is part of Charlie Kirk's entourage. Like, at some point, they do have to take all the equipment down.
Yeah, that's just a dude like, oh man, I gotta.
Or honestly, was that guy grabbing the camera so that they could see the footage on it?
That's what it sounds like to me.
Probably also true, because it's probably a type of camera where you can't actually like get the footage unless you take a card out of it.
Oh, it looks like a standard DSLR. Yeah, it looks like a DSLR. So I don't know if it was hooked up to something or what.
He probably shouldn't be like moving the chair that he was sitting in. That's probably not a good thing at all.
No. But again, if he's part of his entourage, he's just a retard. Like he's a retard, like camera guy or something.
Yeah.
Don't worry, guys. We're going to get closer. This is just a wide shot so you can see what's going on here, and then we'll get a bit closer. I know you guys have pulled apart this footage a million ways, and thank you for that. And here's the closer version of that.
Bro, we're all Monday morning quarterbacking. We all are. Like, that's all we can do. We're looking at secondhand footage, or in this case, third-hand footage of somebody else and trying to theorize, like, I guess, possible additional avenues or reasoning or something else, some more additional information we can pull out after the fact. That's all we're doing here, bro.
You can see, slow down here, he pulls out the chair. He stands on it, and yes, that would be a big no-no for a crime scene. You don't move anything. He takes down the camera that is directly
just a retard.
Above
just a retarded
where
employee.
sitting, and would
Now, but also, do they have
be
him
able to
side
provide
by
therefore
side?
a lot of insight, and then you can see he kind of sits the camera onto the desk, and it looks like he removes the SIM card from it, or the SD card, if you will, which we're watching right here.
Candace.
So, are they the same person, though? That's what I need to know. Because listen, if my buddy just got shot and I had a camera pointing at him, I would also want to go look at that footage after the fact, right? I mean, right? Like, wouldn't I want that to try and help figure out where the shot came from, who killed him, what happened, all that sort of stuff? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm devil's advocating here, but.
So I'm going when I saw this footage. Who is that? Like, actually, I should be able to figure this out because I've got a pretty big network at Turning Point USA. I'm the person who's wearing shades. I'm not recognizing the individual. And I reach out to somebody on the inside and I'm just like, who's this person? And they tell me the person's name. And I go, wait a second. And I look again, I'm like, I know this person. It's been a few years, but I know this person. This person's been around Turning Point for quite some time, for years. Like I said, back when I was working at Turning Point, early days. So I'm like, I'm just going to reach out. Obviously, I know this individual. I'm going to reach out and I'm going to say, hey, what's up with this? Where is this footage? Why did you do this? What were you doing up there on the rocks? What's up? Like, this is not the first thing I would do if I had just witnessed Charlie Kirk being shot. And I'll say this right now. He was extremely forthcoming. Like, as soon as I reached out, I just sent a text because I still had his number, and he was extremely forthcoming, immediately got onto the phone. And first and foremost, I should say, obviously, he's seeing all these clips going viral and he is fearful for his family. He doesn't have any security and people are looking, And he said, look, as you can see in the footage, I was sitting right to the left or to the left of Charlie when Charlie got shot. And I instantly knew that he was not going to be okay. I instantly knew that he was dead. And I then, as you can see, people that are running, anybody that was in that zone.
I kind of wish you would cut to the chase and say, like, do you have the footage or no? Like, because that's the only thing I would be concerned with. I was like, yeah, bro, whatever.
Well,
Anyways,
John,
do you have that footage?
This is why you don't make enough money on YouTube. Because you don't ramble
1.37 million views 4 hours ago, dude. 4 hours ago on a live stream, dog.
You got to bait people into it. You got to make sure they watch all the way through.
I did not realize that Cameragate would be such a moneymaker, quite honestly.
Ran to the back and he caught his breath. He wanted to check in with and communicate to other people that were working with and around Turning Point USA. That's why he's on his phone, communicating to them what had happened. That's what he told me. Then I asked, okay, well, what about this camera thing? Why would you grab the cameras? And he says, because the first thing that I thought is that I better secure the footage and be helpful and hand that footage over to the feds. Well, obviously, that's where things get into a pickle with me because we don't trust the feds, right? I'm like, no, we don't trust the feds. We don't got to do that. Just let me have the footage. I'm like, just send me the footage, please. Let me look at it. There's a lot of conspiracy.
Camera.
Did she say that?
I think she said, why would you rob?
The first thing that I thought is that I better secure the footage and be helpful and hand that footage over to the feds. Well, obviously, that's where things get into a pickle with me because we don't trust the feds, right? I'm like, no, we don't trust the feds. We don't got to do that. Just let me have the footage. I'm like, just send me the footage, please. Let me look at it. There's a lot of conspiracies that are floating around right now. People don't know what to believe. People are doing what I would say, credible videos. People that certainly have the credibility are ballistics experts that are saying that what we see in the front.
Are you kidding me? Did she put... Wait, no. If she did she put this behind a paywall?
Wait.
No. Think about it. Did she put... This would make that, by definition, a snuff film. If you put that behind a paywall, you have to pay to watch this angle of Charlie Kirk's death, his assassination. If that's true, that's disgusting.
Especially since she is going around saying, "Oh, he was my best friend. We were so close."
That's disgusting.
Ugh.
No way. That can't be real. Please tell me that's not real. If that's true, please tell me that's not actually real.
Front is an exit wound, not an entry wound. I don't know one way or the other because I'm not an expert. I'm getting inundated with messages from people that hunt, people that are in the military saying that this had to come from another direction. This footage could help. If nothing else, let me help you. Let me formally debunk that by seeing this footage. Like, could you send this footage over to me? Well, he didn't want to send the footage over to me without checking with Turning Point lawyers. I said, look, technically, you own the footage. Like, you and some other people own the footage. Like, let me just see the footage because why go through lawyers? Like, I just want to see the footage. And also, I asked the question, why not just release it? We've already seen the worst thing that you could possibly see from the front, right? Like, the front is what is a traumatizing video. And I understand that he wants to afford his wife some protection, like this has to...
Protection from what? The footage is already out there. So I don't get any of this. Yeah, if you have footage of the event, you should just make it public. I think making it public is the simplest way to dispel all of these rumors and conspiracy theories. And I don't even say that in a negative way, but I just mean, like, putting out all the information publicly is the best way to be able to people to come to a consensus, right? Because if the FBI like pulls all the footage offline, right, or tries to, that makes it way more suspicious if they're withholding things rather than just putting it out. Well, you say you can't put it up on YouTube, but you can just blur the blood and put it up on YouTube. The videos are up on YouTube. You can put it on X for free. Guarantee you, for free.
Experienced that, Erica, so many people watching the love of your life in the last second of their life. It's traumatizing. I'm traumatized by it, right? That's not my husband, the father of my children. And so out of a loyalty to Erica, he also doesn't want to give more footage to the internet. But I said, look, I'm not going to publish it. I just want to see it. And I think you should let me see that because people trust me. They know that I'm very serious about this. I don't care about anything right now other than figuring out who killed Charlie Kirk. So in the short run, he agrees that rather than send the footage, he will get onto a FaceTime call with me and he will show me the footage on his computer. He did that, and I watched the footage, and I'm going to tell you what I saw. And to the people specifically, the people that are in the military, people that know weapons, I'm telling you this because you might be able to add more color or more clarity here. What you would expect to see if given the weapon that they have said did this, the bullet they have said did this. I don't know anything about any of this, so I'm just telling you what I saw. Okay. First and foremost, there is nothing gory about this shot at all. And so again,
Wait, so somebody held up their phone on a FaceTime with you and was like, look, like, you see that? That's the video I have. So you watched like some phone recording or screen recording of the actual footage?
I'm still going to work with him to get me the footage so that I think it should be shared. There's nothing gory about this footage from the back. The thing that really stood out to me, and I just kept asking him to replay it over and over and over again, is that there's no blood. There's no blood from the back. There is no blood. So I think a lot of people were wondering whether or not that bullet pierced and went out the back. I think I vaguely even remember, and Skylar, you can maybe live look this up, but like I thought the feds were saying they were looking for a bullet at some point, which is now very alarming to me. I don't understand that. How could they have been looking for a bullet? Because if I'm not seeing, and there isn't, I'm telling you, what happens in the front is not what happens in the back at all. If I'm not seeing any blood, what are we to take from that?
That's what she said.
The only thing that could make sense, if what they're saying is true and that person took the shot from the place that they're saying that individual took the shot from, it would suggest that it was inside of Charlie, right? And they would know that. The Fed would have known that. So they would have communicated that they were never looking for a bullet. Because remember, one shot. So I'm very confused. I'm very confused, not by what I saw, but what I didn't see. Okay? That's pretty much.
Okay, she's saying a lot, but not saying much at all. And she's making me more confused now than when I was 15 minutes ago.
All I can tell you right now. And I am going to try to get all of the footage. And I understand that right now he is very fearful.
Why? Why would he be fearful about releasing footage that has already been seen by everybody? Unless you're purporting or trying to infer that this footage is different. It shows the real angle and it doesn't show what all the other footage does. That's the only reason to be afraid, because if it just shows exactly what everything else shows. Like, why would somebody be fearful of releasing that footage? Why? Why would somebody be afraid to release footage? Unless you're trying to hype up this Cameragate release so you can get another, 200,000 people watching you live or something like that.
But I'm going to continue to try to privately push him to just release it. I believe that transparency is the only way. I'm much more, I think all of us would agree, I have much more trust in the people than I do in the feds. The feds are lying about everything, so they should not be the only people that have access to this. And I understand not wanting to have that relived from another angle, but given the fact that there is no gore and there is no blood from this angle, I don't see why not.
On the internet. Like,
and so that's what I wanted to share with you guys. I know some of you guys were insinuating. I got a lot of emails that it could have been a flechette. I had to look that up. I don't even know what that is. I was like, guys, I don't know anything. Flechette shells, that something could have been a lot closer that hit him and that everything else could have been a distraction. All I can tell you is that there's no blood. That's it. There is no blood in that video. So give me your thoughts on that. Now I want to get to another tip that I received that is pretty interesting because, look, as you guys know, when I began investigating this.
All right. So
she said literally nothing.
It took 14 minutes to be like, listen, guys, there was a guy who worked for Charlie that took a camera and took footage, and I can't show it to you guys. Like, that's it. That was 15 minutes worth of... Darn, okay. I gotta take like an hour to do my introductions. I feel like that would be more helpful.
Yeah, you just got
repealed the
baited.
19th immediately. Yeah, unbelievable. I know the rules. Yes, indeed. All right. Well, we're gonna call it there because for like 3 days I've tried to get to the story about Thompson Center buying Green Mountain, but I still haven't gotten to it, and we won't get to it tonight because we're already 2.5 hours in. So we will finish up with support and head on out of here, gentlemen. I'm really sorry that we added absolutely nothing of value to the conversation there at all. At all. Moonman for 5 says, this guy should stop talking so fast and fix my HVAC with that phenotype. Ooh, hey, Jake, you want to talk about that?
Shut your mouth, Moonman. And if you're going to pay me, I'll do it.
You work HVAC?
Yeah.
He's an HVAC man.
Hell yeah,
he's
dude.
He's a
blue
working
collar
man.
based.
I keep this country going, man.
Real shit.
Without me, everyone would die.
Yeah, degenerates like Jake allow degenerates like me to do what I do. Without AC, you think I could stream for hours without AC? Unbelievable. Thank you, Moonman. Moonman again says, I think it's gay and autistic to obsess over, and as a sponsor and a fed, if he was wearing at all, it was nipple equipped. Yeah, so I mean, I'm talking with actually Cody right now, who is thinking it was plates, but it was something else that made it look like a nipple or something like that. I also don't know what the distinction is with the armor versus no armor. Like, I don't know if it helps or hurts anybody. Like, I've heard wacky conspiracy theories regarding that, and again, I don't see that in a negative way. But there was a plate company that didn't want people to know that the bullet bounced off the plate and hit Charlie in the neck. Right, so they're trying to hide that fact and not make that public because then people wouldn't buy their plates. I've heard just crazy stuff when it comes to the plate versus no plates side of the debate. But ultimately, I don't think it matters at all. I think it's just something autists obsess over, which I get. Mentally dysfunctional Corgi for 2 says, monolith mentioned. True. Thank you. Chud for 2 says, police siren, nasal defender in chat. Reggie is a nasal defender. Oh no. We have one of the chosen people in chat, huh?
Shalom.
Shalom, sir. Central Sands Defense for 5 says there's a video out there of a guy on the balcony saying that he heard the shot come from the roof. Well, so that's another thing. I when I was in Valhalla's chat a little while, like 3 hours ago now at this point, people were saying it sounded like a suppressed gun, it sounded like a handgun. So the on the ground reporting is sketchy, to say the least. Very sketchy. Thank you, Central Sands. Moonman for 5 says the real conspiracy against you, Jews, it's always Jews, but magic pistol snipers aren't real. This Billy Ray looking ass is flat earth tier. Yeah, I mean, if we're going with the pistol from the side theory, which again is whack, why did nobody else, like any of the 20 people standing over there, be like, no, the bullet went over our heads and we could see it like impact Charlie from the side? Like nobody has said that. And there's no camera angle from that side showing you that's what happened. I think that is just pure nonsense. Moonman for 5 says, internet access is the modern equivalent of translating the Bible out of Greek and Latin in the most painful way. My glowy brain cells are dying. Yeah, you know what's a terrifying thought is that for some reason Elon Musk keeps adding more and more internet access to India, and I think that is just bad for humanity as a whole.
I don't know. I mean, we do get to see their trains.
It's true. How many Pajeets die a year of train death?
I don't know.
It's like
Yo.
Whoa! All right, all right.
Yo,
Yeah, we're 2
brother.
hours in. You can say it. So Bardic Psycho for 5 says Candace is the most beautiful, intelligent black woman on Earth. I'm not a race mixer. Leave her alone.
Have you ever been feasted by an African king?
If you want to be with a real African queen, that's what it looks like. All right.
Feasted.
Judd McGill for 2 says bunch of shameless race traders in here. What's that line from Predator? What a bunch of slack-jawed faggots in here. Black pregnant emoji, nasal decongestion, airplane emoji, 2 towers. Story as old as 2001. Moonman for 5 says, I'm going to pull my fingernails out if the chipmunk continues to speak. I apologize. That was a little bit of chalk grading there for a minute. And Mitzvot, member for 3 months, thank you, sir, says, having armor wouldn't show a rear exit wound. So the armor theory is that it hit the armor plate and bounced up through the neck. So he was wearing a plate that could stop 30-06, but didn't absorb it, so it was steel and it bounced up.
Ooh.
And
What
killed
if
him.
what if it was a Tacticon armament plate?
Whoa, that's a bad question.
Shut it down.
Oh, did I say chipmunk or chipmunk? My apologies. Yeah, steel because he's poor. No. Thank you, Mitch, but I appreciate that, man. Over on Ko-Fi, let me see here. Akron says, how do I get Discord? Well, I can actually send you a message directly because we've had a few too many Discord psychos come through. So we're not doing that anymore. We are just going to send you individual messages to get on the Discord. How about that, Akron? There you go. All right. Well, Motto, what do you want to shout out before you go?
Nothing, man. I'm just glad to be here hanging with the homies. Talking to Jake. We've only had one DM conversation, and I won't say what happened in that DM conversation, but it was very hilarious. No, he hit me with probably the greatest one-liner I've ever heard as the first interaction I've ever had with a person online, and it was it was great.
All right.
So yeah, it's nice to try it. Oh no, Logan sucks at shooting.
Yeah. He's a mod on the Discord. He let in the psycho.
Oh,
it's fine.
Right.
All will be forgiven if you let me win at Area 3 next week. Jake, what do you got coming up, homie?
Yeah, literally nothing. I'll shout out Motto Memes. He actually makes memes still, unlike me. I will make a meme every like 6 months, but yeah, Motto puts out some good stuff on Instagram. Go check him out.
Well, you know what? Just for that, Jake, I'm putting your Instagram in the chat as well. Can't stop me.
Oh no.
God.
There you go, buddy. Hey, you're followed by Ben Steger. What else do you want? Richard, what do you got going on, homie?
For those who aren't aware, I run the second channel, Focus Clips. I take the stream, cut it up into smaller bite-sized portions for your consumption. So if you guys could go over there and subscribe, it really helps us out. So
Heck yeah.
Tomorrow the videos coming out are going to be the rebranded PSA 2011 and a couple other little
No, you gotta we're gonna switch gears with that tomorrow. Tomorrow we're gonna try and get out the Candace Owens clip because that retard needs to be talked about. We'll try and get that as fast as possible, even if I have to do it tonight. It's fine. But yeah, out of focus clips, check it out. Oh shoot, is that not the right one? Gosh dang it. That's not even the right link. Unbelievable, I'm retarded. Focus Clips. Check it out. And yeah, so I got a match tomorrow night. Then next week I have Area 3 champs with Logan and Lance and a few other homies. So that should be fun. We'll be streaming next week for at least 1 day, maybe 2 days. But we'll be streaming from Rapid City. So maybe I can get a few other degenerates that live in that area to come hang out with us and be live in an Airbnb. We'll have a content house, okay, for like 3 days while we're at Area 3 champs. Yeah, that should be fun. Modern Frontier Project for $2 says Motto, bruh. That's right, bruh. Hit him with a.
I shouted you guys out 3 times. Fuck you, Lance and Damien. Fuck both of you.
Modern Frontier Project actually sucks. Actually, tragically bad channel. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Just kidding. I even dropped your link in the chat. How about that?
Yeah, they're great.
That? I just put
great
your
guys.
Link in the chat.
They make some really good content.
Good. Heck yeah. Could use more shills in chat. I mean, more good company. Sorry. All right, gents, but with all that out of the way, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. I will see you in the next one. God bless.